What's up, babe?
What's going on, CDL? What it do? What it do? I got my coffee mug in here too now.
Ah, that's what's up.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. What's going on, baby? How you holding up this Freak Friday, baby?
man, I'm doing good. Just got me some new specs,
Okay.
and I'm doing good, man. Thanks to my wife. I'm walking around this motherfucker blind, but thanks to my wife,
Yeah,
I am good.
you looking clean and spiffy, man. You looking clean and spiffy, baby.
Oh, I appreciate that. I got the head done like
There
Mr.
we
Clean. You dig what I'm talking
go.
about?
There we go. There we go. What's the
How are
news
you,
from
man?
man? God is good. You know,
That's good. That's
it's been a week I had to fight, but
yeah.
you know, what's the point of being a warrior if you don't fight? So,
Yes, sir.
you know, man. Yeah, man, we about
Yeah.
to have my boy Marcus up in here, in a second.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's about to go
Hey,
sweet.
I saw you last night, boy. You did your thing. You look good. You
Thank
look
you, man.
good last night.
Thank you, brother.
You
Thank you. I
look
learned
good.
I, I learned from CDL, baby. I learned from CDL, you know what I'm saying? Seeing you doing all these lives and stuff, man.
Yeah, I
But man,
appreciate that.
what's going on in these trucking streets, man? You want to get off your chest, man.
Man. You know I'm all about controversy. So,
Man,
man,
straight from the hip.
yeah, straight from the hip, man. I got I'm working on something big that's about to happen. Not really gonna say much about it, but I'm working on a lawsuit against a big company. Number one, so I call out a lot of people, but with this one, I can't call them out. They got deep pockets, so don't worry, y'all. Once we work through all that, y'all gonna hear about it. But I'm all for the driver.
Mm-hmm.
Point blank, period. And it's funny because man, I've been sit. Well, I say we been sifting out a lot of these bad brokers, man, and I love it.
Mm.
I love it. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it because what they do is they try to turn me into the bad guy,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what a broker does. A broker likes to
Mm-hmm.
flip the whole situation, as we know. But when you got it in black and white, you got it in writing. You can't flip that, baby. You
Mm-hmm.
cannot flip that. And I love it. I love it. And we're gonna get them all. A lot of people got on me like, why are you trying to expose black? First of all, y'all need to stop that. Y'all need to stop that, number one. Because I talk to all brokers, whether
Yeah.
black, white, purple, or blue, big or small, they all gonna fall. So they need to stop that, number one. Number two, I go after the big ones too. I go after your TQLs and all that. I got some stuff brewing I can't really talk about, but trust me, I go after them. But when they
Yeah.
talk about black business, man, they act. And I actually had a guy tell me this, man. A guy he told me one time that I shouldn't be calling out black businesses even if they're doing wrong because white people do it all the time. So you mean to tell me that a black person can go and shoot another person and I'm not supposed to call that out?
According to our culture,
Come
I
on, man.
guess. Yeah,
Come
I
on.
know.
Make it make sense.
Uh-oh.
Make
Yeah.
it make sense, man. So, and then another thing, it's like it's your right. Like
Mm-hmm.
Title 49 CFR 371.3C is your right. It's
Mm-hmm.
your right. Use it.
Yeah.
That's what Ida fought for, and they got it passed in Congress. It's your right. But
Mm-hmm.
see, a lot of them are scared to use it because of the blacklist. Now, guess what? If we all start standing up for ourselves, they can't blacklist us
Oh,
all because if they
for
do,
sure.
who gonna move that freight? They ain't
Mm-hmm.
got no CDL.
Mm-hmm.
You dig what I'm saying? So I'm just putting everybody up on game, man. And also don't be scared to get blacklisted because that means you're doing something right. See, a lot of people talk that shit and
Yeah.
they talk that, but they scared to walk it.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Well,
Because that's all you hear is truckers complaining. What's the number one thing truckers complain about?
brokers.
Brokers.
Yeah.
Okay, well, God help me find a solution.
Mm-hmm.
Now you don't want to use the solution? Man, get out of here, man.
Yep. Yep. You know, the interesting thing about the FMCSA, I feel like they don't do a better job. What's going on,
What
big
up,
dog?
Marcus?
Boy, that boy, hey, Malcolm X right there. I'll see you.
You clean as spiffy, baby.
hey,
Malcolm X.
hey, boy, you lighting the fire on them. You lighting the fire on them.
I'm getting them out of there, man.
You
I'm
lighting the
not playing.
fire.
I'm not playing. And you want to know what the funny thing is? I love it. I love the fact that I'm still at a smaller level where people don't really know me
Mm-hmm.
because that's how I got Hudson Freight yesterday. They didn't know who I was, And also, they try to flip it on me like, we never done business with this person. Why is he asking these questions? If you working on the spot market and you get a load off the spot market, and that broker call you, they ask us all type of questions, and we ain't never done business with him. So what's wrong with me asking them
True.
questions?
True.
You know,
Right? I didn't think
know
of
what
it
I'm
like that,
saying?
but now you're right. I didn't think about
Yeah.
it. You're right. Yeah.
So and they put us through all these vetting tools, highway,
True.
what's the other one? All that other crap they put us through. But I can't, me as a carrier, I can't ask you questions. I'm in the wrong.
True.
Man, get out of here. And then old boy, it was funny because old boy blocked me. But
Mm-hmm.
then when he found out who I was, he came back under his real profile and tried to talk to me.
Mm.
That's some shady shit.
I offered them to have a discussion on live, and I would love to have a discussion on live with
Man,
you.
I
You
would love
know, I would
to
love.
too, but I told him, I said, in order for us to do that, he got to tell the people that he did block me and apologize. Now he didn't apologize to me, but he did tell the people that he blocked me. So I give him a stand up point on
Mm-hmm.
that. Yeah, but yeah, they got caught red-handed. I mean, it is what it is. And
Yeah.
somebody else that was in my comments called Dame Freightworks, man. I don't really know him, but I've had a full conversation with him. Me and him talked on the phone before, and he seemed like he all for the truckers because he's a trucker too. But then he like to give them passes, talking about, well, maybe they didn't know the law and stuff like that. First of all, as a broker, your number one thing is you're supposed to know all laws and regulations, rules and regulations. You're supposed to know that. Number one, brokers know this. They just know that we don't know it, so they play on the fact that we don't know it. I'm just bringing it to light. Number one. Then number two, when the defendant stands in court before a judge and the defendant says, I didn't know that, what does the judge say to the defendant? Ignorance is not
Yep.
above the law. Point blank,
Yep.
period. I'll let y'all
I'll
take it from there.
let Marcus go. You go, Marcus.
Bro, I've been going so hard in my business and doing. Yeah, I know y'all probably see my videos. I'm out back in the truck running these night runs, but I love it. But the funny thing about this industry, bro, you do so much positive stuff. We all do positive stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All do positive stuff. Put people on game. You don't get the views or the likes because of that.
Right.
But as soon as you start just going like,
Yeah.
bump it, I'm gonna start exposing people.
Yeah.
Now people looking at you like you're a negative person.
Yeah.
But it's like, even when I do a couple things, I talk about certain things on mine. You know, talking about being negative, but I'd be like, bro, have you not seen my last 150 posts?
Right.
I'm trying to teach y'all.
Yeah.
Right.
But sometimes how this world is, especially in our business, bro, people gravitate towards the negative. And it's
Yeah.
just like, and I love it. You know why I love it? Because one thing is a lot of people are scared to do, especially if you got a trucking business, because you can get blacklisted.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the fact that they said that they will blacklist people because that's how easy it is to blacklist a company.
You see?
It's easy.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And they use that against a trucking company.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that's right.
Right.
You know? So it's not even like, so there's not really even a governing body to be like, hey, they submit this and then you get to dispute it before it hits your company. It's
Right.
just they submit it and it hits your company and now you're screwed.
Correct.
It's privatized.
So yeah, it's very privatized, and that's one of those things that, you know. So with that, like, yeah, you seem to expose, but you see how they so quick to be like, I'm gonna blacklist you.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be asking these questions.
Right.
And it really what you're exposing the system.
Right.
You know, you're exposing the system to see like how much power they have over these trucking companies.
No, that's what I've been telling people, man, for the past few months. They got too much power. Then when I show people like I did yesterday and today, how much power they got, people try to flip. First of all, I noticed that there's a lot of people that don't really know how trucking works, number one, because they're not seeing it from the driver's perspective, right?
Correct.
They're flipping it on me and like, why would you do this? They don't have to be transparent with you. You don't know the law, number
Right.
one. Then number two, this is how they talk to truckers. This is how they treat us.
Exactly.
So the only thing I did was I just flipped it back on them.
Mm-hmm.
All you doing is and the great thing about it is, like I said, you can continue to do this because it's not going to affect you. You know what I'm saying? Like they can't blacklist you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you are the perfect person to do it, and you're going to expose them because you're like, look, This is how it is. I'm showing y'all what they do, and it's true. That's
Right.
what they do, bro. Like, you know, I'm like I said, there's some good brokers out
For
there.
sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For
But
sure.
there's some people out there that you know, they feel like they better than you, or they feel like they own you because they got the freight, so they get to feel like they get to talk to you any type of way, and then there's consequences. You know, I don't mind. Like, look, if you're gonna do a freight guard on me or blacklist me, then I should be able to fight it before it turns into
Correct.
something permanent,
Correct.
right? I should be notified. I should be able to go to court. It should be more of a judicial system for that. You know,
Correct.
it shouldn't be like you said, it's privatized. So carrier 401 is not going to be in your favor because they're getting paid by the brokers. So how is that fair? It's not
Right.
fair. It's not
Right.
a fair system, right? So that's the thing. I loved it, bro. When I saw it, I loved it. And that's what I'm just saying, because I'm not saying all brokers are bad, but a lot of them abuse their power. So you got to be able, you got to talk to them nice. They could be having a bad day. You say something off the wall, or, you know, you get mad, or you say, hey, you didn't pay me for my lumper fee, or you didn't pay me for my time. Oh, okay, cool. You mad about that? Okay, I'm gonna blacklist you.
Right.
And you
Right. Yeah.
you can't even fight it. You can't
And they
even
be
do anything.
assholes. They just be
You know,
assholes.
Yeah.
saying you can't even fight it. You know, you can't even be like, oh shit, like what? Like, and then next you know, you try to work with another company, and then they'll be like, oh yeah, we can't work with you. Oh, why you can't work with you? Oh, we can't tell you. What you mean you can't tell me? It's my company. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Now you going through that loophole. So that's what it is, bro. Like the trucking companies, or the truckers on the other side, we ain't got nothing to be like fighting it. You know, and then we don't even have the information to know. That's the thing I don't like about it. Like, if
Right.
somebody do a freight guard on me, it should be an automatic notification to my company, and it should be a phone call or something, and say, hey, we're going to have submit your documents. They submit your documents. It should be more of a judicial system. It just how long as it take to do a trial, it should take just as long if I'm fighting a freight guard. It should be rules to this, because that can end a trucking company's business like that.
Yeah.
You know, with no repercussions, and that broker doesn't care. And then next you know, you're going to deal with the wrong person. And that wrong person going to roll up on them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be a wrap.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I definitely love it, though. Like I said, when I saw it, I was out late and driving. I loved it, though. I loved it because it needs to be exposed. It needs to be exposed. And you're right. A lot of trucking companies are scared to do that because of the reason of being blacklisted. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it's just like, then what the hell are you supposed to do? But then you got somebody like yourself that's just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna put y'all out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my whole thing about it is, like, I don't want people, and I've said this many times, there are good brokers out there and there are bad. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to sift out the bad ones, because they're bringing a bad light on the good ones. Now, I don't know if y'all seen my live with one broker, Forever Freight
Was
Broker.
that the Asian cat?
Yeah. He Asian.
Yeah.
And guess what? When I first met this cat, I grilled him too, like I grilled everybody else.
Yeah.
This dude not only said, yeah, I'm cool with it, but I don't even carry for him. I haven't carried for him ever. This dude actually sent me one of his things and was like, here you go. He ain't know me from a can of paint. So
Right.
he was
Damn.
willing to be that
Early on,
transparent.
he did
So that's why
that.
yeah.
Damn.
So that's why I had him on live, and I proceeded to grill him again on live to let everybody see that I'm very transparent. So
Right.
somebody under my comment said, and I love when they said this too, I was trying to pin it, but I couldn't. Somebody in my comments said, if they got a problem with you asking these questions, then they're a shady broker, because it shouldn't be nothing to hide. Whether we dealt with each other in the past or not. How do you, like I said, when you go in this spot market, you ain't never dealt with this broker, and this broker never dealt with you. So what does that mean, that we don't have, or that we need to have a relationship?
Right.
We don't. If you want me to haul your product, I'm asking a question. Would you be, okay with that? If you tell me no, then boom, that's a red flag. That means, guess what? When it comes time for me to get paid by you, it might be hard to get paid by you.
Right. When and that's what I say. I love it. I love it. I was like, love it, because then I'm looking at the comments, and then you know what I have a saying. Me and my wife, we have a saying. I'm like, if you talk to somebody and they go from 0 to 100 real quick,
Yeah.
they know they wrong.
Yeah. Yes.
And I seen it on there. You see the people trying to fight real quick.
Real quick.
Oh no. And it's just like, well, if you're doing it right, you wouldn't even trip.
Yeah, but you
If you're
want
doing good business, you wouldn't even respond it. You would have been like,
I, I,
yeah,
I wouldn't respond either. I ain't gonna lie.
right.
you know what I'm saying?
But
Yeah.
If you feel that way, you be like, oh, I never worked with this guy. He said this. Okay, I ain't gonna say nothing.
yeah,
Yeah, you
but you
can't
want to
go
know
through
what's funny?
everybody's comments.
Like I told Alante, the funny part is they didn't know who I
Right,
was. They straight up blocked me right after I asked them questions. But then when they found out who I was and that post was getting traction,
right,
then they wanted to talk
right,
after that.
right. But that's
I thought that was hilarious. It's like, oh, now you want to talk.
what it is. You got the, like I said, you got the social media presence, and now they see like, oh, this can really hurt us.
You
And
got
Right.
more traction than her though. To them, you got way more traction, and that's what I was trying to do. You know, I want to respect you and them because collaboration is better than separation, and
right,
we can monetize this frustration
Right.
quite nicely. You know, we
well,
can do it in a debate format, and we can really monetize this. But that's I'm thinking. But yeah, man. So
What up,
I
Gip?
get what you mean.
but yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
that's
yeah, man. So I love what I'm doing. I love it, and it wasn't. To be honest with you, I understand they're smaller than me and everything, and it was not meant to hurt them. But guess what? They hurt themselves the way that they talked to me. I could have been a carrier looking for some freight. I could have been a new customer, but the way
right,
they talked to me and treated me, just because I asked them a few questions about actual law that is in place,
Mhm.
right,
you just lost business. You shot your own self in the foot.
right. Because I look at it like this: if you a broker and somebody ran a low for whatever price, man, that's why I always tell like, if you run it off the low board, your price is your price, right?
Mhm.
Hmm.
So if you say I want 225 a mile, you get 225 a mile, you happy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? And then you say you ask the broker, hey, what's the low? And the broker said, oh, here's the information. You see they got it for 350 a mile. You can't be mad because
Yeah.
your price is your price.
True.
Right.
You just see like, okay, 350. Maybe next time I get a little more, or maybe or
Well,
not. You know what I'm
that's why
saying?
you're not supposed to be cheap. You're not supposed to be cheap.
You're not supposed to be cheap, but
We're
you're supposed to have your
negotiating. You
number.
know.
What's your number? So if you ran a low for your number, then you can't be mad on what the broker
Right.
get. See what I'm saying? And you can see, okay, I see they got that. Okay, because there's a lot, and I understand the broker side too, because there's a lot that goes into the broker side as well,
It
right?
does. It
So
does.
it's a lot.
Mhm.
But if you got your number, if your number is 250 a mile, and you got 250, and they made 350, you can't be mad at that. You got to be like, okay, I got my number. But the problem is people will take cheap freight, and then they go to the broker, and then the broker does supply it. So you took a freight for $1.60, and you saw the broker got
Mhm.
350. You can't be mad at the broker. You got to be mad at yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to be
Yeah.
like, hey, let me get my number. That's why I always tell people when we always talk, get your number, know your numbers, and get your number.
Right. But see, now with this law, broker transparency, let's say if you did lowball yourself and you took some cheap freight.
Right.
Now I can see, oh, this broker got bank on this. Okay. Next
Mhm.
time I deal with you, yes,
It's
I'm
research.
asking for
Yeah.
more.
It's research.
Yes.
That's all it is. It's
Yes.
research. It's a tool for research to help you become better in getting loads. That's
Right.
all it is.
Right.
It's not nothing for you to get and be mad like, oh man, what the nah, that's not that. Because you
Right.
can't get mad because you took the load.
Correct.
The broker didn't put a gun to your head and say, hey, $1.50, you better take it. Nah,
Correct.
you
Correct.
took it. If you took it for that, that's on you. But
Yeah.
if you get the information, you get the research, you know, okay, well, 350. Well, next time I ain't running that list for 270,
Yeah.
whatever your a higher number, and you stand on that.
Yep.
But the problem is though, you can do that. There's nothing wrong with doing that. But there's still people out there, and it's going down. It's going down a
Well,
lot.
see, that's why we need Parliament. That's why we need people to get with Parliament because that's where a lot of people need to learn their what cost per mile.
CPM, man,
CPM.
and that's the type of stuff that we talk about is the learning your CPM and learning your numbers and learning exactly what you need to be doing. But that's the thing, man. It's like the broker transparency is not a tool for you to use to complain to be mad at the broker. It's a
No.
tool for you to use for research to know, okay, let me see what now I know the numbers, now I can get a little more. Or if they trying to lowball me, I could just say no, because I know they got more in it, you know?
Mhm.
It gives you research and information and education about the market. That's all it is. It's another research tool,
Right.
but people aren't going to use it because they may be scared they might get blacklisted, all of this stuff. And that's
Right.
why I said it's just You know, and that's why I said it all goes back to Carrier 401.
Yep.
That needs to be regulated, because
Yep.
that's something that can ruin a trucking company in a day.
Right. I got one for you. So somebody in the comment, Dame just said, go live, book a load with TQL and ask for that info, not giving it up. Okay, cool. But I want to flip it back on Dame or anybody else that got that question. Why I got to do it? Why you can't do it, brother? Come on, man. This is a collective. This ain't just a me movement. This ain't just a Marcus or Alante. Come on, brother. You do it. You got a platform too.
Right. And the thing is, though, if you know the law, yeah, they may say no, but if you keep doing it, and like you said, it can't just be one person.
Well, see, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Along with insurance, the FMCSA doesn't have any kind of correspondence that enforce codes.
Correct.
You have unenforceable code. We got unenforceable laws nowadays in America. Old laws that people commit crime every day. No one, you know.
Hold on. I don't mean to interrupt you, but hold on. Dane just made me mad talking about you make it sound easy. And he talking about he did. Dane, guess what? First of all, TQL is a big company, right? You're a small fish. Not saying that in any bad way whatsoever, but you're a small fish. So guess what? First of all, TQL is planning on waiting you out, and they got the lawyers. But guess what? By law, if you do your research, Title 49 CFR 371.3, you can sue them. You can take them to court and sue them. Point blank, period. It's that easy. Now, they got deep pockets, so they may fight you on it, but if you want to fight and stand up for your rights, you can sue them. TQL is counting on the fact that you don't have your paperwork in order, that you don't have time to come to court, and that you don't got the same lawyers they got. And then, if worse come to worse, put their ass on blast. Social media works just as fine as a commercial.
I'll tell you this. I'm working on like some apparel and stuff for Parliament. One of my things is trucking ain't easy. Anything that you do in this industry is not easy.
Yeah,
it is not easy whatsoever. But you can go through the process. But to your last point, you said your biggest asset as a person is social media.
Yep.
If you use social media for your gain, it's gonna work. If you keep saying this company is like you said about the Hudson Freight, right? If 10 truck drivers or 20 truck drivers say Hudson Freight is bad, it's gonna spread like wildfire.
Thank you.
If you say TQL, it's gonna spread like wildfire. So our big weapon as individuals, because we're small fry, like you said, we're small fish in a big pond. Social media, talking about these issues on social media, and just being when you talking on social media, you ain't gotta have your company. You can just be talking and say, hey, look, I work with this company. I don't like them, and they did X, Y, and Z. That's the reason why I created Parliament, to have it separate, where it's just for truckers, and you see the information. But you can also go on your social media and talk about it, like how you're doing, right? Mm-hmm. So there is ways how you can beat that. But your biggest asset is social media. Using your platform, whether you got 100 people, whether you got 10 people, because you keep talking about it, it's going to spread. Like how we talked about, and I'm going to say this right now. We were the first ones to talk about Carrier 411.
Yeah. 100.
We were the first ones to talk about Carrier 411. I don't care what nobody said. We were the first ones talking about Carrier 411, how it's not fair, how it's screwing over truckers. And you see how everybody else is talking about it now.
Yeah, man. Yep.
Yeah. And I'm going to go even further to say, number one, Dame, you one of them scary truck drivers out there, man. If you can't figure it out, bro, and if you scared to get blacklisted, bro, then hey, man, I don't want you standing beside me, bro, because you got to stand for something. Martin Luther King took all them bullets in his back. Malcolm X took all that stuff. Why you can't take it? Why you so scary? Why are truck drivers so scary to get blacklisted? Get blacklisted, guess what it's going to do? It's going to make you get your ass out that truck and go find you some direct freight. Stop complaining. When you talk to truckers, guess what the number one complaint is? Brokers. Well, guess what? We got something for that now, and nobody want to use it. Find you a good broker. If you still want to deal with brokers, find you a good one. Like, damn, like it's not hard. Like, I'm tired of people complaining, but guess what? When there's a solution on the table, they get scary. I ain't for no scary ass people, man. You can get out my live with that.
There's a platform out there that people don't want to use. And I made it all free. free and they still don't want to use it.
All free.
They still don't want. They still
People
don't want to.
complain. That's what I don't get. People complain.
They complain.
Y'all,
You got a platform out there that got telling you about the game, got videos on there, got a community so everybody can talk it out and help each other and figure out how to navigate this stuff. And people still don't want to use it.
right.
I
Well,
had
Dame,
customers.
if you on direct freight, Dame, start making lives and teaching people how to get direct freight. Start being a solution to the problem and stop being the problem.
I I had a customer call me, and he's watching our lives. He seen the live, called me. He like, yeah, man, you know, he agreed with CDL Shorty, and he's in Parliament and everything.
Really?
Yeah, he's in Parliament and everything. We talked about this. I just talked to him before I got on the phone with y'all.
Wow.
Like we talked.
Tell him I
Oh, you
said
gotta
hello.
give me his info. I gotta look it up.
Yeah, tell him I said hello.
Yeah. But and he brought us something to me that was true. He said, man, you know, even if they didn't want to show you the books, and I get the discrepancies why they wouldn't do that. He said, but even then they could have taught you different. That's the
Yeah.
key. And
Yes.
I've had situations. I was telling my wife where I was new and I was booking a load, and I would call in, I would ask questions because I had got fucked on so many loads previous. Maybe it was the pickup, maybe it was the weight, maybe it was what I was hauling. I called the load, and they were like, "Man, look, you asking all them questions. We don't even want to do it." Which click more than that happens.
Ain't
Yeah,
that crazy?
like all the time. I was asking basic questions, like, you know, how, you know, what is it? How heavy is it? Palletized? Just stuff like that,
Right.
man. Like,
That
so they
Asian
have
cat?
this.
No,
Huh?
go ahead, Lante. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
They have this disposition, and bro, I don't even move like that. And I'm an insurance agent. I could really be like, okay, fuck y'all. I don't do that, bro. I don't have that. I don't carry this disposition where I'll talk down to people, bro. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can say.
Hey. I tell you what. Number one, I'm about to block Dame because he getting on my nerve. He act like I'm not really out here. You act like I'm not really out here, bro. You act like I don't keep my ear to the streets.
Malcolm.
Come on, man. Like, come on, man. You get the point blank. You scary. You scary. Number one, you scary. Find you a good broker or get out the trucking industry. You scary, bro. You scared. You scared to get blacklisted. You scared to stand up for something. And you probably one of them same ones that complain about the brokers but ain't trying to do nothing about it. But anyway, I'm off of him. He keeps commenting. I'm about to ignore him. But anyway, the Asian cat that the Asian freight broker that I did the live with,
Hmm.
asked him the same questions I asked Hudson Freight. I can screenshot all of his stuff. He greeted me with the utmost respect. Yeah, I have no problem. I open up my books. Do you want to see what I just made on this load? Blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, cool. I appreciate it. Grilled him. I said, okay, cool. After I grilled him, I said, man, you know what? I would like to do a live with you and talk more and do a little bit more research with you. This cat said, here's the link to my website. Here's all my YouTube. Do all the research you want. And if it's okay, do you have time to go live right now? I said, whoa, wait a minute. Like, I ain't even home
Yeah,
yet. Like,
yeah,
wait a minute.
yeah,
But it's a difference on how you talk to people. Hudson Freight was like, fuck you. We don't know you. I could have been good. I could have been your new business partner.
yeah, yeah,
They feel
yeah.
entitled
It's
and they don't have a CDL.
it's a disposition, I must admit, when it comes to truckers, and even these people are in the corporate positions behind a board, and they get paid by somebody, and they think they can talk you any kind of way because you're a truck driver. They think
Right.
they're smarter than you because you're a truck driver.
Right.
They
Yeah,
think
we
they're
look
better
at it as
than
janitor.
you because you're a truck driver. That's what they think.
Yeah.
They think that now. Don't you know? You just some dumb truck dude driving a truck. But what you're doing, I liken it to like with the thing they're doing with abortions. We know theoretically they can't get rid of abortion.
Mm.
They're just trying to damper it down. Same thing with broker transparency. We know they're not gonna be transparent 100%. Nobody gonna, oh, here's my back door. You know, they're gonna keep something to themselves. We all do. But you're gonna rattle the cages, and it's gonna start bringing more communication to people. That's it.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
it. That's
Yep.
it.
That's
I
that's
get it.
that's really what I. To be honest, when I found this out, when God allowed me to find this out, and He pointed it out to me, because I give all credit to God. Number one,
Hmm.
um, bro, I found out that why is this not talked about a lot? And I talked to Ida about it. Ida was like, "Yeah, it was really talked about during COVID, but this is what the dude from Ida said. He said truckers have a short memory. They forget." And they've been getting blacklisted too. So a lot of truckers have started shying away from this. My number one goal when I found this out I'm about to market the hell out of this.
Yes.
I'm about to market the hell out of this. I'm about to be a broker's worst nightmare.
I'm gonna
And
give you.
a lot of people, hold on, let me say this right quick. A lot of people been asking me, why you single out Cam Newton? Why you going at Cam Newton so hard? Why you don't go at TQL and everybody at CH Robinson? Well, I have made a video about TQL, CH Robinson. Guess what? Nobody listened. So when I made the video about Cam Newton, number one, I'm personally offended about Cam Newton because first of all, first of all, you're a football player making millions of dollars. Why did you decide to get into freight brokering? Number one. What's in it for you? Number two. And then he gets online with that viral video that went on about a year ago talking about our people don't know this and I'm a freight broker this and a freight broker that. But he left out a lot of things, how they treat drivers, how they don't want to talk to us, what's the high brokerage fee they got. All of that. Freight guards, carrier 411, all the loops that y'all, excuse me, all the loops that y'all make drivers go through. He ain't talk about none of that. So yeah, I'm gonna go at him. Point blank. Period.
I love
You
it.
know,
Like I said,
I'm gonna give you some more ammunition to as well. I'm gonna give you the man. Go after the factory companies too, man. They really,
Oh, they
whoo,
next. They next.
whoo,
Anybody out there charging 4 to 5%, even three's high. I'm
locking
coming
up
for you.
people, locking up people receivables to where they can't efficiently operate their business, so they can control you.
Yep.
Um, Control you in the contract to where when it's time your time to leave, if you have any kind of account receivables,
Yes.
you can't leave them in a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
They got a UCC lien against your building of your
Man,
business. It's a predatory contract.
the contracts on some of these factoring companies are worse than the contracts with these brokers.
It's like they pimp you, bro.
Yes.
They pimp you.
Yes.
You know.
And a lot of people don't know that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but the thing is, though, we talk about it.
Sure do.
That's the crazy part. We talk about it.
Yeah.
We do
Mm-hmm.
videos. We talk. I got a whole 3-part video in Parliament talking about factoring companies, what to look for when you choosing your factoring
Yep.
company. If you got a contract for a factoring company, just send it over. I'll check it out. I know what to actually look for to not get you in a bad situation. Knowing your if you want to switch companies, how long do you have to wait
Right.
after you get paid all the invoices? Like, there's a
Yep.
lot of things people don't know about factoring companies, but you just hop and get a factoring company, and then next you know, you be like, oh, this one's terrible, so I want to go to another one. They be, oh no, you gotta wait 6 months. What you mean I gotta
Yeah.
wait 6 months?
They lock
Yeah,
you in.
we got a 6-month waiting period, and that means you can't run any more loads for 6 months because we have to be clear of all invoices in the
Mm-hmm.
past for 6 months. See,
Mm-hmm.
people don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You think it's just like, oh, okay, cool, I'm done, I get to leave.
No.
Yep.
Nah, they got you in the contract because they know, well, if you running low solely off the load board, you don't have a direct freight, and you getting paid off. Even there's some direct freight that will pay you through your factoring company. But if you're doing this and you want to go to another factoring company, maybe your rate is 3%, and the other factoring company say, hey, we'll do 1%. So you want to
Right.
go over there and get less money. Now you trying to move, but they but oh no, you got to wait 6 months. So we can't factor any of the loads for 6 months. We got to make sure we get all of our money, and then after that 6 months, then you can go to another one.
Right.
Some are 6 months, some are 30 days, some are 60 days, some are 3 months. But you got to know that before you hop into that
Right.
contract,
Mm-hmm.
because when you hop into that factoring contract, like you said, UCC liens, you get all of that, bro. It hits you all of that.
Mm.
And like me, like I got a factoring company that I use here and there, and I don't even want to leave, but mine's 3%.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, yeah, there's other factors that come, hey, we'll give you 1%. But I'm like, all of the hassle for me to go from 3 to 1 doesn't make
Right.
sense. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like,
Crazy.
I'm just gonna stay here because hey, they take care of me, whatever. I don't use them all the time.
I wanna,
Cool.
I wanna, I wanna, I wanna interrupt you. I got something to say about that. I got a story.
Yeah.
I was doing business with Tabs for a very long while, where I had a personal account manager who was making well over $150,000 a month. It was continuous. It was when I got my account manager, I had just started making like 100 grand a month. And you don't keep all that shit, bro. You know that.
Yeah.
But my factoring company gave me an account manager, and then when I went under like 100 grand a month, they said you don't need her no more. So I was in renewal, and I said only way I renew with you guys if you give me my account manager and you give me 1% rate. And they wooed me. But before then, I was already ready to leave Task bitch ass because they
Mm-hmm.
had They had held up at one point like 3 weeks of my revenue, man. It was like 60 grand they held.
Yeah.
And they were feeding me in like 5 grand increments. Like, here you go, here you go.
Damn.
And I hauled for one freaking shipper. It's $1 billion shipper, $1 billion company. Like being like number 10, you know, like on a warehouse. It's a huge company, owned by Nestle, huge company. And long story short, they held my revenue up so long. By the time it was time for me to leave, they promised me all these things. I wish I would have listened to I seen the reviews. I wish I would have listened because I would have left and avoided a lot of headache, man. I
Yeah.
just think that sometimes you, Marcus, bro, you know what you're doing. I'm not questioning on that. But dance around a little bit. It's like before you get married, you know, you court around a little bit,
Yeah.
you know, and shit, you already in theory you're already married. It's like having a girlfriend. You just seeing other girls, maybe this other girl got something to option.
Right.
Same thing with fat companies.
It's the
You
same
know, they all
thing.
option. Yeah, maybe they got
But
something better than option. That's it.
but
And it
that's
might
why
be
but
more
that's
lower
why
than the one you got.
but that's what I'm saying though. If you don't, you know, people always say like, hey, when you doing something, prepare for the worst. So you know you're about to join this factoring company. Let me figure out
Yeah.
the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Let me figure out if I want to leave. That's the worst situation, right? Leaving the factoring
Mhm.
company. How does that? How much time? Because the
Yeah.
most important thing in trucking is what?
True.
Time.
Right.
True. True.
So what's my time on this? Like my factoring company, if I want to leave them, I had to wait 30 days. No invoices. Yeah, because I chopped it up because I know, you know, when I got on, then I had a renewal, just chopped it up. I just said, give me 30 days. I don't do it that much anyway, but
Very
30
good.
days, you know, but that's what I'm saying. I know what to say. Like how we always say in the beginning, knowing the lingo. When you're
Yeah.
talking to them and you know the you know they lingo.
Yeah.
Oh, like I said, oh, he's smart.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
he knows.
Marcus.
He know the financial terms. He know what to say. He know it is. He chopping up the contract. So now we got to make him a better contract because he know what the hell he's saying. A lot
Hey,
of
Marcus.
these truckers. Oh my bad.
No,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say make a cap cut on that. A lot of people don't know about the time frame.
Yeah,
Yes.
learning about
Yes.
learning about the time frame and stuff. But the thing is though, I have the whole video on Parliament.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Make
Yeah,
a cap cut, a small one, and then
about
at the
that.
end tell them to join Parliament to
Yeah,
learn more.
but that's the thing. And I'm gonna tell you about this business. People don't know. I got a degree in finance.
Mm,
I got a bachelor's in finance.
gotcha.
Right.
Yeah.
So when I'm talking to these financial institutions, I already know what to say. I know they learn. I know they terms. I know they lingo. They looking at me like I'm just a trucker or I just own trucks.
Right.
But they don't know that I know what the hell I'm talking about.
Right.
So they talking to me and then they be like, oh, okay. I'm like, yeah, what about this? What about this? What about this? What about this? And they're like, oh, well, I know more stuff than some of the people that I'm talking to on the phone. So you know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm able to get a cool contract with what I got. But that's what it is, man. And that's what we always talk about. See, CDL Shorty, you talk about the driving side, the trucking side, you know, the driver side, right? You know, Alante, you talk about the insurance, all that, but you were a trucker too, so you understand. I'm a trucker and I own the business. I'm on the business side more. But now I'm stepping into the trucking side because I'm driving the truck. But the business side is so important. That's the time, like I said, time. You got to understand time and taking your time and making these decisions.
Right.
But don't be afraid to get help. If you don't know what the hell a factoring company is, bro, if you don't know anything about how the hell do I get a factoring company or what should I look for, okay, CDL Shorty, Alante, Marcus, Parliament, let me get on this and just ask a question. Hey, this is what I got.
Right.
Because people get in these situations, you're not worried about the time, you worry about the money.
Right.
So I got to hurry up and make money, so I got to sign up with this so I can get paid faster.
Yeah.
But then it's going to bite you in the ass by wasting your time, and you're going to lose time, and then when you lose time, you lose money.
Right.
So people put money first in our industry, but you got to put time first. What's the time on stuff? You know, I even learned this stuff when I was working with my direct shipper. The time, how long it's going to take, the time's going to take to pay me, right? Now you got to calculate, okay, if it's going to take you, because I used to have a direct shipper, it took them net 60 days. And they didn't want to work with a factoring company.
Oh yeah.
So now you 60 days, so I gotta have reserves for 60, 90 days in
Mm-hmm.
my account, right?
Yeah.
So stuff like that, man. Like people don't think about that stuff. It's just like it's crazy.
Do you
Right.
know why they didn't want to work with a factoring company?
Oh, I
Ever
already know
thought
why.
why?
Because they difficult. Yeah,
Yes,
because
they hate
the
them.
fact, the reason why is I already know why. Because I have a really good relationship with this direct shipper, and
Mm-hmm.
they told me they was like, what they do, they tell you, look, we want to get paid within 60 days. From 0 to 60 days. That's what we want to get paid. 0 to 60 days. So you're like, okay, cool. So we'll pay you next day. As long as we get our payment within 60 days, we good. That's what they tell you.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as they pay you, they hound the shipper. That's what they
Mm.
do. They don't just wait 60 days or 30 days or 15 days. They don't wait. As soon as they pay you, they on the shipper head. Hey, we need payment.
Yep.
We need payment. We need payment. We need payment. That's what they do. They just
Yep.
keep hitting, keep
Yep.
hitting, keep hitting, keep hitting. Because they don't want to wait 60 days to get their money back. They
Mm-hmm.
want to pay you and get their money back the next day.
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
they use pressure on the shipper. Because I know this. This is the reason why I talk. When I talk with these direct shippers, this is what they do. And I'm like, really? They're like, yes, we try to work with a couple big name factoring companies. They say they tell y'all 30, 60 days, we need payment, we not tripping, but they'll pay you, and the next day they hitting them over the head, hitting them over the head. Come on, where the money at? Where the money at? And they be like, we don't want to deal with this. Like you said, we $1 billion companies. We
Yeah,
ain't got
man.
time to deal with little shit. You
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
know? So then they say, oh, the only way you can work with us is this. And that's why big companies work with factoring companies. I mean, not with factoring companies, but that's why big companies work with brokers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because the factoring companies and the brokers are like this, bro.
Yeah.
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 People don't know that.
Yeah.
The factoring company and the brokerages are in cahoots.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So the shipper will pay the factor. The shipper will pay the broker, and the broker will pay the trucker. And the factoring company already got a great relationship with
Mm-hmm.
the broker, so they're not stressing them like that because they already know. That's why they got a whole system on the back end as far as approving the broker based on their score, they payback score.
Right.
They have all of that.
Right.
See, they don't have that with shippers. They only have that with brokers. So
Is it Paydex?
I think it's something
Yeah.
like something along those terms.
Yeah.
But and that's what I'm saying. The factoring companies is keeping the brokers alive, and the brokers is keeping the factoring companies alive. So they make it to where you got to work with the brokers because they make it so hard with the shipper.
Yeah.
And the shipper are big companies, so they don't think like paying you next day. They think net 30, net 60, net 90. That's their terms.
Yeah.
So that's why it's hard for a trucking company to work directly with a big shipper.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
these big shippers don't want to do that. They don't want to. They like, hey, net 30. You like net 30? Yeah, you 30 days, 60 days. Like, what? You know what I'm saying? But then that's why they make it to where you like, okay, well, I work with a broker because the broker is gonna get. I'm gonna get paid from my factoring company because my factoring company and broker are in cahoots.
Mhm.
So they keeping each other alive.
I'll do you one further. You're right. You're 100% right on everything. But one step further, freight brokers have their own factoring companies that's separate than trucking factoring companies.
Correct.
So they're already in line with, and they have their own pockets of shippers. On to that conversation. I was having problems with one of my shippers, and I'm like, hey, I'm a freight broker too. I got my own brokerage. I got my own had everything set up. I said, just let me do my freight through my factoring company, not my trucking company,
Right.
because I knew I could issue my own self stuff, and I can get over to my bullshit factoring company I had over here.
Right.
And once again, I mean, whatever reason that she didn't want to do it in that situation, but that's another way you can evade it. If you do got your own, when you got direct shippers, I mean, direct freight, you can have a factoring company and pay yourself with it.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny though? So I tried to do the same thing with one of my shippers, and they was like, "Well, we just rather just pay you directly." I'm like, "You can just pay my brokerage." Well, because they don't like to move like
They
that,
don't
bro.
want you giving the lows out.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. They want to work, and I'm like, "That's what it is." There you go, right? So
Yeah.
it's just like I'm figuring out a solution,
Yeah.
but we rather just pay you directly, and I'm like, but what? Well, shit, you know, like I'm trying to get paid.
Yeah.
You
It
know,
keeps them in control.
Yeah. Most
and that's what I'm saying. As a trucking company, and I've learned this. Like I told, so a buddy asked me, I was driving. He was like, "Hey, so if you got into the business again, how would you do it? What would you do?" I said, "I would have factoring company,
For
just
sure.
like that.
For sure. They winning. In
Factoring
this
company.
day and age, they're
Hey,
winning.
we need to start one up. I kind of know how to start one up.
We need to talk
We need to start one up.
Hey.
Yeah.
because
My, my
that's what
mentor, before I got into insurance, guy from Texas, he got his own factoring company. He got his insurance company. He showed me how to do it. I just didn't want to do it. It's a lot of red tape. You got to have a little bit backing, but there's credit for that. You know,
yeah.
nobody put their own money up. You know how the world works.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted, and that was the future plan for Parliament was having factoring for Parliament because, and that's what I told my partner. I was like, the money that I started with, I could have put that in the factoring company. I could have backed myself.
The,
You see what I'm saying? But
the money's in the money's definitely in factoring companies. Because listen, the only thing about tabs is that they had so much money during my duration, they end up having like a $40 million deficit that was unaccounted for, worth of fraud and worth of frivolous stuff. They couldn't find $40 million.
right,
You know, that's how bad this factoring company fumbled their money.
right,
They couldn't find $40 million. And
right.
what they do is they start squeezing the other carriers.
Yeah,
I mean, they're carriers.
yep,
You know, they
right.
start making it hard for
Because you know
them.
why? Because you know why? What they do? Because if I put a strain on you, you're gonna run back to the shipper or whoever and make sure they pay faster,
Yeah.
and then they release money.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? But that's what I would do. I would start a factoring company
How you feel about that CDL?
because
Huh?
I'm sorry, how you feel about it? How you feel about the factory? I'm sorry, Marcus.
Oh, I feel the same. I
Yeah.
feel the same. I mean, I made a video probably I think it was about 2 weeks ago about the factoring companies and the high percentages and stuff like that. Yeah, they're in this day, and a lot of people don't talk about it, but in this day and age, Marcus is right.
Yeah.
Factoring is winning. They are the silent winners right now because they
look
got
if you look at a factory company, and like I said, we'll talk about this because I've been looking into doing this. If you and I got some people that can put some money together to start it. If you look at factoring, I'm not saying there's not fraud or anything like that. There is fraud. It's the financial sector. But if you look at factoring, what is your risk?
none.
Just that.
None.
You have minimal,
Yep.
right? But like I said, if you got what I say, factoring companies or brokers are like this, right? So say if you a factoring company, you work with 10 to 15 great brokers. You know they great. I can tell you 10 to 15 brokers right now that's great. That I know would pay on time, everything, no problem with the money.
Yeah.
You just work with them. It's gonna work with y'all. Because I trust y'all. I know y'all gonna pay me. We're gonna figure this, we're gonna work it out.
Right.
But if you take in, okay, so if everybody charging 3%, you say I'm gonna charge 2%. Right? So if you do 2% every month on what is that, 2%? Say you put 100 grand, 2% every month, so 100 grand constantly moving 2%. So 2% times 12, that's 12 months. On that 100 grand, you're gonna make $24,000, and you ain't doing nothing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Here's
So
another thing.
add it up.
You know, the
And you
only
got
thing.
them locked in with a shady contract.
Yeah.
But then that's what I'm saying. All you got to do as a factoring company, and when you come into this, you do everything right. You know what I'm saying? Customer service is what keeps people.
Yeah.
Right? People will pay the 3%. Like I said, I pay mine because the customer service is good. Stuff gets done. Everything gets handled. Because sometimes you can go to somebody that's 1%.
Yeah.
But is it gonna be worth it?
True.
You know what I'm saying? Are you really gonna be like, man, it's 1%, but damn, it take them 3 days even my money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things you got to look at when you make it. Sometimes it's okay to pay a little more.
Hey.
So what is that? You say 3% of 100 is $3. 2% of 100 is $2.
Yeah.
It's $1 difference.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's funny when we start talking about some real deep stuff, how we only got 4 people in here, but when we started off, we had 30.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? No, it's serious. People don't. People talk that talk. They talk that trucker talk.
Yeah.
But when it's time to walk it, they ain't trying to hear none of this.
Nah, man. They ain't trying to hear about complaints about, oh, y'all get y'all money every day. They still thinking of the bigger picture, not the details.
Yeah.
It's not the details, and that's what I'm saying. You just gotta, what I've learned is, bro, you just gotta put it out there because if I can help a couple people,
yeah,
I'm gonna keep I'm gonna keep putting it out there and keep showing people and keep doing stuff. So what I've been doing, man, look, I've gotten back in my truck. I got back in one of my trucks, my white truck. Y'all see my videos and stuff.
Yeah, that's the Kenworth, right?
Yeah, Kenworth
Yeah.
T680.
Yeah.
So I've gotten back into it, and what I like about it is people always say, "Man, you always in the office, right?
Yeah.
You always in the office, man." I'm like, all right, I'm in the truck now. What's up?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And then I got these Ray-Ban glasses. You see the Ray-Ban Meta glasses?
Yeah.
CDL, you should get those, bro.
Man, I just started back wearing
No, but
glasses, man, because
it's not a prescription. It's not a prescription.
oh,
So what you should get, the reason why you should get it, because you do a lot of interviews, you're talking to truckers.
true.
So you
True.
know, when you talking to truckers, bro, you ain't got, they know it's you.
Yeah.
Your voice, they know,
Yeah.
But you can be looking at them and talking to them and having that trucker, and then you can post it. So like, if you look at my last couple of videos, those are all done for my glasses. Because I'm just doing, so you just press record. You can record up to 3 minutes, press record, and I just go out my day, show you what I'm doing.
Oh,
but
yeah, I'm gonna give you some.
And then what I love about them too is, I told my wife, because I have my AirPods, so sometimes I said, and this is how truckers are, right? I said, see, I think different, bro. I think outside the box. I think like convenience. I'm like, man, these truckers wear these headsets, right? You wear the headsets because you look like a trucker, right? Oh, you got the headset.
Yeah.
I got my glasses on. I can answer phone calls. I can record while I'm driving. I can take pictures, and I can listen to music. All of my glasses.
Damn.
That's more hands-free than having the damn headset on.
Yeah,
it is.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Truckers see, oh, everybody got the headset on. I'm gonna rock the headset. But the glasses cost just as much as the headset, but does 10 times more.
I'll probably give me some this weekend.
So what I did, I did a video, like me charging my truck, because I had to charge my truck. I did it off of my glasses. When I did a video, I'm just driving and talking. I'm looking like driving in Cali. You see all the traffic. It's off my glasses. And I'm like, but the thing is, in my mind, I'm like, and I'm going to talk about it more, like do an actual video. But I'm like, truckers are so, oh, they doing it. I want to do it. But we so they going right, we going left.
Yeah.
That's how we are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm practical. And I'm like, yo, I got the glasses. I told my wife, I said, why motherfuckers don't wear this? I was like, this is way better than having the headset.
Do they make clear ones? Because you can't wear them at night.
Yeah, so mine are the transitionals.
Oh, okay.
They go
Okay.
dark during the day, and then at night they.
How much these cost, bro?
I think like they're like $250. It's the
you a check.
It's the bro. I'm about to do a whole video because I'm about to do a video on it.
No,
no,
Mark. No, I learned the hard. No, for real, I learned the hard way. I'm actually working out, about to be in a lawsuit here in a couple of days. But seriously, I learned the hard way. You need to contact them and ask them about marketing and stuff like that. Because guess what? You making a video and you talking about it, you're going to get people to buy them, and guess what? They're going to make money.
I need to get the what is it like the I know what you're talking about though. I was looking on this company's thing.
Yeah.
I'll let you know when they are. But I'm using them, and I'm like, why motherfuckers ain't these? I'm like, these is cool, bro. So you know how you be driving and you blasting the music, bro? For what? The music right there. The music cool, right there, bro. So I'm listening to all the jams.
Is it loud?
I'm like, yo, it's loud as shit. Hell yeah.
Look this up.
Yeah, bro. I'm over here, but the thing is though, like, so like my latest videos, bro. They all I was putting stuff together right now, but all my latest videos is from my camera. It's from my camera on my glasses, bro. And I'm like, this is cool, bro. Like I'm like, why aren't people and my boy told me about them. I had these things for like 3 months, and I ain't really used them. But my wife told me, she was like, hey, once you get in the truck, just wear your glasses and you can record or whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So I'm recording this stuff, and then I get a phone call. All you gotta do is double tap. Hello, clear. It's like it feels like it's right in your ear.
Yeah.
The camera, like the speaker's like right above your ear. I'm talking to my wife, hands free, bro. All I gotta do is this.
Wow.
And then I'm listening to a song. That's all I do is taps.
Taps.
I'm like, why? I was like, yo, why are truckers using this? This is better than any headset ever. Ever.
I seen Mark Zuckerberg talk about it. He said in the future they're not gonna use phones no more, they're gonna be using glasses.
Exactly.
Damn.
Way better. It's way better, bro. You know, you ain't, and like I said, they're not prescription. You can change them to prescription if you want to. Just take them. They take them to the lens, but they're not prescription. But mine is transition. So I can during the day they sunglasses, bro. You know, and then at night they go to clear, and then and I should say it's great for truckers, bro. So imagine if you driving, bro, and somebody acting crazy, they driving crazy in front of you. You just hit that record button instead of having it on your truck. You have it on your thing because you actually looking at it, and you could just record it. You know what I'm saying? So something do happen. Oh, I got the recording right here.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I got the and I'm talking. I'm telling you what's happening. And because I did a video me driving last night. I said, "Why? I don't know why people drive like this in front of semis." And I haven't posted it yet, but I'm like, "Yo, that's the best marketing." And I do my pre-trips and everything, like at night or in the day.
Yeah.
I do it with my glasses, and I'm just walking around the truck, and then you just do a voiceover what you looking at and everything. But it's. I feel like me getting in the truck, I'm gonna have like 10 times more content.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
With those glasses, bro.
Yep.
Because you ain't walking
Yeah.
around with the phone. And that's why I said, see, when I said, yo, you got to get these, bro. Because you always walking around and talking.
Yeah.
Bro, those is it, bro.
I'm gonna look into it. I'm gonna look into it, but I just want you to get paid from it. Cause man, let me tell y'all something, man. I can't say the name of the company, but I went out and did, test drive. I was gonna buy a truck. Went out and did a test drive for one of these trucks, man. And and it was actually, it was actually the black truck, the most recent one I did with the black truck, the stretch body truck. Man, I didn't say these people names in this video. The company, I didn't even show the lot or nothing like that, bro. How about they told me, the sales guy actually admitted to me that he took my video off my channel, my YouTube channel, sent it to the person that bought the truck. That person saw the video, fell in love with the video, or fell in love with the truck through the video that I made, and they used it. And that person actually came that day and bought that truck, cash money. And now they act like they don't owe me nothing for that. Talk about it's a public video. No, you use my name, my image, and my likeness.
Yeah. They shouldn't have said shit.
Yeah, that's what I told my wife. I said, "Oh, he messed up. He should have never told me that."
Yeah, I shouldn't have said shit. Dummies.
But that's the thing though. It's like, but that's the thing. It's the power of social media, right?
Yes.
It's the power of social media, and there's ways you can monetize this and do it the right way.
Right.
Right. They could have paid you, say, hey, man, we want you. We see what you're doing. You in the area. We're going to pay you $1,000 just to test drive, do some video, send us a shout out. And then also, too, we'll give you a shout out as well. Cool. You know what I'm saying? That truck was probably how much? 150,000? How much was the truck?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So, I'm not even asking for a piece of the commitment. I'm just, give me $1,000. I'll come out there and do a video.
Mark, the funny thing is, I wasn't even asking for that. I was asking if we can do a partnership, a marketing partnership together.
Yeah.
No, we don't do that. We don't do that here. We got our own marketing. Okay, cool. Well, can I get a referral or a commission check off of that video? Y'all use my video. No, it's a public video. We don't owe you anything. Well, technically you do. No, we have our own marketing people.
Did you have
your
own marketing people? Why they didn't sell the truck?
I told him that. And then old buddy went like this. This is where I lost it. I didn't cuss him out, but this is where I lost it. Dude said, what do you want? What do you want? You want some swag? I was like, nah, bro, don't patronize me. Don't know. If a white man walked in here, you would have said, would you like some apparel? You wouldn't have said swag. You're trying to capitalize off of my culture. Don't patronize me like that.
That's what it is, bro. And so I do social media, videos and stuff. So I did a couple. I was at the shop, and they do Chrome and all that. So I got some stuff put on my truck, right? But they was like, "Hey, bro, you just do some videos, bro. We're gonna take care of you." I did a couple videos. I'm gonna post them up today. Just shot them out. But that's what it's supposed to be like. You know what I'm saying? Like if I I got a cool little presence. Yeah. You know that. People will get more business, and I'm hooking up my truck, like my lights and stuff. Everybody, hey, bro, you get the lights? Who did the lights? Yeah. All that. I'm like, I got a spot. Yeah. but they saw how that video was doing, but I didn't shout them out.
Right.
So, you know, so then I went up there yesterday and they were like, yo, man, what's up with the video, man? You did the video, but you didn't shout us out. I was like, what y'all offering?
Yeah, nothing's free.
But I was like, I ain't asking for much, but what you offering? Then it was like, cause then I got the I got mud flap hangers, like the chrome ones with the mud flaps. I got those put on, and they gave me some more stuff. They was like, we'll just do this for you, bro, and then just, you know, just do a video and just shout us out.
Yeah.
I was like, bet. I said, bet.
Yeah.
I said, I ain't asking for a whole lot, bro.
Yeah.
You know, because that's like, you know, they're like my peoples. But I'm like, yo, you know, if you coming to me, you see my value. You see my value, bro. That's all it is. It's like, we ain't coming in here, you know, like, you got people in our industry that y'all, Alante know, they charge us $6,000, $8,000, $10,000 just to do a post in our industry. And I'm not even mad at that. You know what I'm saying? If you build it up to that, if you build it up to that, bro, there's nothing wrong asking for that because you got a value in social media, right? So that's what it is in the social media game. Is like, you know, you have the value and you're like, okay, cool, but ain't nothing is free, bro. Like that situation, they should have said, hey, bro, we, you know, look, you know, we know who you are, and we'll give you $1,000 or we'll give you 500 and some apparel. That's all it is, bro.
Yeah,
they could have said,
we ain't asking for 5% of the sale
on future videos. Like, hey man, I got some more trucks. Let's work together in these videos. And if each truck you sell, I break you off. I would have did that. You worth that.
Yeah.
Because you could have did a whole YouTube video talking about one truck. And then that truck would have been on YouTube for long as shit, and they would have paid you $1,000, $1,500. You just keep it on there talking about us, and just keep coming back to
come back and doing it. You have a whole series of it.
That's all it is.
But see, here's what hurt me though. Here's what hurt me. Because I fell for the okie doke. I fell for the part that I feel like everybody should be like me. Everybody should have the heart.
They don't.
Because when I first got into this, man, I was like, man, why people charging all this money for all this free information, this free game out here, blah, blah, blah. But then I started to see something, Marcus and Alante. I started this, and I just learned this the other day, man. Bro, nobody give a damn about you. They gonna squeeze everything they can out of you for free. And at the end of the day, guess who's left out broken, homeless, and on the street? Me and my wife. Bro, it hurt me, bro. When I found this out, it hurt me to my core because it's like all the scammers is winning. All the people that's charging is winning. And people like me, you, and Alante, man, ain't nobody trying to give us a dime. Do y'all remember that story I told y'all about this cat that I met on social media that admitted to me that he paid Allison in for $5,000?
Yeah, the overweight. He did the overweight.
Yeah.
He didn't know he was overweight.
Yeah. So look at this, man. So I'm not talking bad about the cat whatsoever, but facts is facts, right? Cat hit me. I'm cool with him. Cat hits me up out the blue. Talks to me. Hey, man, yeah, man, I need your help, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. Then the next thing you know, it started to become an every week issue. And not saying him calling me was an issue, but he always had an issue every week. And he would call me, and I would personally help him out with it, right?
Right.
So my wife was like, he's getting a lot of free game off you, baby. He needs to sign up for your mentorship. So when I finally got my mentorship up and running, I asked him, hey, would you mind signing up for my mentorship? He said, yeah, no problem. I ain't heard from this cat since. I ain't heard from him since, bro. That's the God's honest truth. I ain't heard from him since, not a peep. And it's like, bro, like really, like y'all really want. First of all, what about my time? What about my knowledge in the trucking industry?
Right.
And y'all know me. Y'all know I hate when people charge people, but at least give me something. Like, I'm not asking $5,000, but at least throw me something.
Well, that's why I look at it like, you know, with Parliament, I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm gonna be having hats, shirts. I said, that's how y'all can support Parliament.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that, you know, and that's how you got to look at it. Like, you got to look at it like, and that's what I was talking to my wife about. Because I got frustrated. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. I'm like, yo, I got crazy information on here. I got a crazy situation. But, you know, like you said, people ain't gravitating toward like you wanted to. You just like, I ain't gonna give up on it because I put time and energy into it. But you got to figure out how to monetize off of it to keep it going. Till it really gets far.
People want to use you, man. They want to use you. That's what I
So,
found out. They want
so
to squeeze everything they can out of you for free, and it is partially the scammers in 2020
right.
that charged all that money. Now people feel like, oh, I don't want to do that no more. But again, it goes back to y'all know y'all got scammed. Y'all paid all that money. Now people out here looking out for y'all best interest, giving y'all good game, and y'all don't even want to support them.
Yeah.
And exactly, and that's what I was looking at as far as I'm trying to find this picture.
And there's a thin line between we provide value. You know, I was trying to find a name for us because I like the guy. He got valuetainment. I like that, but we provide value.
Yeah.
Y'all see?
What's that? What's
Okay.
that?
So
Make
this
sure
is one.
again.
This is one of the first hats.
There
They
we
on the
go.
way.
I like that, bro.
Oh,
I never got
okay.
my hat, bro. I never
Huh? You never
got my
got
hat.
Hey,
it?
No,
Alante don't.
I gotta find the thing. I gotta check the thing.
yeah,
It got sent.
it never. See, my downstairs office people, they never
I
got
gotta
it, bro. And I was
check.
waiting for it.
I gotta
Hey,
check.
look, Alante don't need one. He got that fresh haircut
Yeah,
over
he
there. He
good.
don't need one.
Good.
You know, I'm
He
trying
good.
to wait. Yeah, you
He
know.
good.
He good.
But no, that's what I'm looking at. You gotta look at things. You can support a cause, but the cause has to have things that people gravitate to.
Yeah.
You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And people, and that's why I told my wife, I was like, we had a real conversation, because we working on it, figuring it out. Like, education is not a high priority in our industry.
Mm-hmm.
No.
It's not. Even when I look at everything in the industry, education on our side is not a high priority. People
Right.
get in, make as much money as they can, and get out.
Right.
But what everybody on our side, I can tell you what we care about. We care about what we wear on our head,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
what we wear on our
Yep.
bodies,
Right.
Yep.
and what we got on our truck.
Yep.
Right.
For
I talked
sure.
to my shop. He was like, well, we'll have people come through here spending $10,000 to $15,000 on accessories on their truck.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He told me
I was into that too.
one guy came and spent 40,
Damn.
but
Yeah.
then 6 months later they go out of business.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I talked to my shop. They, like I said, they like my guys over there, and we just chopping it up. And it's just like they gravitate to that.
Yeah.
They gravitate to what's on their head, what they got on, and what's on that truck. So when I got that truck, that's the reason why I did my truck like that, is to bring views in. So now I'm taking videos and stuff in front of that truck, lit up, all that shit. I did that to bring people in and then talk about some real shit.
Yeah.
And talk about some shit you need to know. But that's what I've learned about our industry. Our industry don't want to learn.
Yep.
People on our side don't want to learn.
No.
That's the thing I've learned. I thought, when I first got into it, started doing it, I'm like, oh yeah, people want to learn. They just don't know where to go.
They don't give a damn.
They don't want to learn.
They want to
They
make
do
their
not
own
want to
rules.
learn.
They
You said what?
want to make their own rules.
They want to make their own rules, or they want to complain for somebody to feel sorry for them, but they don't want to learn. There's a reason, like I said, there's resources, like you said, there's resources out there, but people just don't want to learn.
They don't.
That's what
They don't. Even with
our
me.
industry. I came to that. I'm like, yo, they don't want to learn, so I got to come up with different stuff and do different things, have that catch, and then they'll bring it back to Parliament one by one. Then they start seeing like, oh, this is like a community. Oh, okay. But you can't bring them in with the education. That's what I've learned.
Yep.
In marketing,
Look.
in our space, you can't bring them in by saying, oh, the broker law is this.
Yep.
You can't say that. But if you say, oh, this is a bad broker, you get more views off of that than saying, I'm trying to tell you about broker transparency.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even what I'm
See what
doing,
I'm saying?
Marcus, I get a lot of pushback on what I'm doing. And it's the funny, most disrespectful thing is I get a lot of pushback from truckers that this
Correct.
is what they say. I give them education on this broker transparency law. This is what they say. So what? What's it going to do after you completed the load and you find out, did it help you any? What are you going to do? What, you're going to get blacklisted. That's all you're going to do. And it's like, wow, man, I cannot believe that y'all complain about brokers 24/7, but y'all
That's just
care about this law.
like me when I did all my videos. I'm in the office or in my car. I'm not really in the truck, but now I do a lot of videos in front of my truck because everybody was like, "Oh, you're not a real owner. You just own it. You don't drive trucks."
Yeah.
Really?
Now, so what you got to say now?
Right. You had to let them know.
I'm dipping the truck now. I'm at night dipping
What
it.
can
make it
What Lamar say? Sometimes you gotta pop out and show.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta pop out. That's why I'm gonna do a video like that. I was like, yo, sometimes I'm gonna do a video. I'm gonna do a video in front of my truck and just pop out. Like sometimes you gotta pop out and
Yeah,
show. And then
yeah,
I learned too. So I pulled up on one of my drivers yesterday, and I told him, I said, "Hey man, I'm about to hop in my truck." He said, "Bro, you're not driving the truck." One of my drivers, he super cool. I'm like, "Bro, I'm about to pull up. Like I'm driving, bro. I'm dipping at night." So then I ended up meeting with him. He's like, "Where you at? Where your car at?" I said, "Bro, I'm in the truck." He's like, "No, you're not." So I'm in the truck. He was like, "Oh, you not playing?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "You know why I'm not playing?" I said, "So when I make $2,000 in one day, I don't want to hear y'all saying y'all can't do it.
Yeah.
right,
I don't want to hear y'all saying, oh, I can't this, and I don't want to
Yep.
hear it
right,
because I'm in the field getting it. You know
right,
what I'm saying? I'm in the field getting it, and y'all can't say there's no more complaints. So
right.
when my drivers see me in the truck now, they like, oh, yeah. So I'm out here getting 1,500, 2,000 a day, out here running this local stuff. I don't want to hear it, bro.
Right.
There's no more saying, oh, I got a problem with the truck. Bro, I fix my truck and everything. I do this shit myself.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear that you can't do this or you can't do that because I did it.
Right.
I'm doing it now.
Right.
A code pop up. I know how to get the code off real quick to keep going.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So and that's what happens. You have these drivers and they look at you like you in the office. You don't know nothing. But now, like you said, I got to pop out and show you niggas. Like, all right, I'm in the truck now. I'm making this much money. Ain't nobody messing with me. Ain't nobody complaining. And I'm out here getting it.
That's
So what I got to
why.
say? You
That's
ain't got to
why
say nothing to me.
Right, exactly, Marcus.
Run
That's
the
why I
load.
take the That's why I take the stance I take when I say when people be like, "How do you start a trucking company?" or "How do you get into trucking?" Get a CDL so you can have those things like Marcus just said. That's why last night, Alante, I don't know. I think I made you choke up a little bit
Yep.
when I
Yep. You
put that in the
did.
comments. Yeah, because like she asked the question and
Mhm.
then like she started talking about everything else, and I'm like, "Well, wait a minute,
Yeah.
get a CDL first."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So look,
it was fun. I was laughing because I choked you.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to choke you up,
Yeah.
but
I
Yeah. I thought it was
I,
funny.
I tell you, I tell you this. Having the CDL, one of the best decisions I made with my trucking company.
Oh, for sure.
I'm telling you. I know people say you could do it without a CDL, and I'll give you two scenarios. I'm scenario one. My truck is empty. I don't really feel like finding a new driver. I don't really feel like dealing with a new driver. So I'll hop in the truck and I get it in at night in my truck.
yeah,
That because it's me. I know
right,
myself. I'm gonna drive the truck like it's mine because it's mine.
right,
Truck paid off anyway. I ain't got no payment on it, so I'm making money.
right.
Then you got scenario number two. I got my boy. He got 5 trucks. Don't have no drivers for him. No
Yep,
CDL. And
that's all I've been saying.
he can't do nothing. And he kind of talking to me, trying to tell me what to do. I told him to sell all the trucks. Well, I want to keep him, man. I said, for what? You can't even drive it. And then the crazy thing is he calls me and said, hey, bro, what you know about box trucks? I said, what you mean box trucks? I said, I don't do box trucks.
Yep,
I said, I ain't got nothing against it. I started off with a box truck, but I got a CDL.
yep.
And I'm like, why don't you just get a CDL? I said, wait, you ain't got your CDL. This man had this business for 7 years. I said, you never thought about going to get your CDL? Nah, I didn't need to, bro. Yes, you
No,
do. I
because
said,
they
right now,
listen
you
to
can be
people.
out here making this money doing Amazon at night,
Yep,
making bread.
yep,
Making bread.
yep. They listen to these people like i.e. Alice Good Energy that sold them a dream, and guess what? He can't even move a truck because he ain't got no drivers.
You know what the funny thing is? When I see the courses and stuff, what they pushing is dispatching.
Oh, now, yeah,
Dispatching. That's the new thing right now.
yeah,
Dispatch.
yeah, yeah.
Dispatch. Everybody be a dispatcher. You can make money doing nothing. Dispatch. 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 That dispatch is not easy either.
Oh,
That dispatch is not easy either. You can't be calling brokers and stuff and not knowing what to say.
right,
Not knowing like, hey, not knowing the rates. So you
right.
think you can be a dispatcher, get somebody a load, but you getting them loads for $1.50 when the market is $2.25. Because
Goodness.
you can't be a dispatcher without learning the stuff. You got to learn everything in this industry. You got to learn first. So now the big thing is being a dispatcher. Oh, be a dispatcher. But I have nothing against dispatchers. There's some really good ones out there. But a lot of people think that being a dispatcher is easy. Yeah, because you don't really need nothing. You can just find truckers, right? But you got to learn the industry. You still got to learn the industry to be successful in this industry. Learn the industry. But that's a new thing right now. People pushing dispatching. Nah, bro. You still got to learn.
Yep.
You still got to learn.
Yep. That's what they like to do. They want to bypass the learning stage.
Correct.
And you know, and like me and you talked on the phone privately, Marcus, a few weeks ago.
Right.
They fall in love with the Rolls Royces, the G Wagons, the Mercedes Benz in the video. That's what they fall in love with.
That's what I'm saying. And that's what the thing is, bro. Before it was trucking company, you could start a trucking company easy, bypass all of that. Then it was, now it's dispatching. Now, oh, you can bypass learning or take this free course or take this course or pay for my course or this or that to teach you how to do dispatching. And it's like, bro, you still have to learn. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you still have to learn how to do this stuff. Like, and it's not going to happen in a month. It's not going to happen in 2 months. It's not going to happen in 6 months. It's going to take some years if you really want to master the game.
You know what's crazy though, bro? I'm sorry for interrupting you. As a guy says, teach me. And, you know, I think it's crazy that we have parliament and people don't sign up, but even though we have parliament, you still got to do the footwork.
You still got to do it. You still got to click on the videos. You know what I'm saying? You still got to click on the videos. You still got to be part of the, you know, when I'm creating this like a group chat, because I'm going to have a group chat where everybody can be in a group chat. Huh?
You got a Patreon?
No, I don't have a Patreon.
The parliament should have a Patreon too.
See? Oh, she said I'm a female. That's a female, man.
Okay.
Niche. Yeah, niche. Yeah, excuse a lot.
I'm sorry. What state you in, Miss Lady? What state you in?
But yeah, man, like I said, at the end of the day, man, you gotta, like, you can be a part of these things and you can learn and you can be part of a community and be like, hey, I'm trying to learn this or we're doing this. But like I said, like how you said, CDL, it's the same thing. People are trying to bypass the learning.
Yeah.
You can't bypass the learning. Like, you gotta learn, bro. Like, you gotta learn. You know how many times I done learn with my money or with my time? I wish I had something like Parliament when I first started. Because I'll be, you know what I'm saying? And talking, you know, and talking to, you know, people in the industry. But I had OGs. But my OGs didn't know the business side heavy like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I've been learning?
What's that?
So one thing I've learned, I had rented 5 drive-ins. I'm gonna give y'all these 7 people on here about to get some game. I rented 5 drive-ins. So I had a big contract. I let go of my contract because of this. First reason is they wanted me to do all this work and they wanted to come down on my price and try to have me agree to a price before 2025 hit when everything about to go up.
Damn.
And then when you have drive-ins, what does drive-ins have? 8 more tires, more expenses, more maintenance, brakes, everything on those drive-ins.
Yeah, because they're the most used.
Right. And then the trailer company I rented them from, if I bring it in, they want to charge me $2,000-$3,000 to say to bring it back to what it was before, which is not true. But I got around that. So then I started working out. Then I started finding companies, big companies, that had their own trailers. And then I was like, why is the money that I'm getting paid without having a trailer more than what I had with the trailer?
Right.
So I put all my trucks up. I put all my trailers up. I gave them back. And then now I'm doing power only, and I'm making way more money than when I had my own trailer, and my expenses are down 30% because I don't have a trailer payment. I don't have maintenance for a trailer. I don't have none of that.
Damn.
And he's right. All contracts aren't good contracts.
Yep. I
had this contract for 2.5 years, right?
Yeah.
But they try to come back to me with some funny stuff, and I'm like, nah. But, you know, blowouts on the drive van. I done had somebody cut the lines on the drive van that we had to pay for. All that. So I ended up giving up all my trailers. There you go.
I ain't mad at you.
And I'm running with these big companies, and they love me. They like, oh, you got trucks? I'm like, yeah, I got trucks. Hell yeah. Okay, that's all we need because we got the trailers.
Right. Right.
We got, and they loaded trailers, dropping hook.
Right.
And my drivers are like, hell yeah, we ain't got to wait for nobody to load a truck no more. We ain't got to deal with people no more. It's just pull up, back in, and get on. I said, yep, loved it. But that's what you got to do in this business. And that's why you got to be a part of the community to be like, hey, this is the play right now.
Right.
in these times, this is what you need to do. So whoever these 7 people is in right now, I just gave y'all some game on what you should be doing right now to get to 2025.
Yep.
Because that's the goal right now, is to get to 2025 and then reassess. But that's what that's what I'm saying though. You got to look at your costs, and you got to look at like what I'm looking at drive-in rates, and I'm looking at power-only rates. The power-only rates is more than drive-in.
Yep. And see, that's why y'all got to start tapping in, because that lady from New Jersey, man, she talking about, I'm not buying a truck. Is that what this live is about? Miss Lady, no disrespect, but we done talked about all types of stuff. We done covered all types of stuff, from factoring to insurance to everything. So that's why you got to catch us every Friday at noon, so you can be in the building to get some of this free game. Because we talk about all kind of stuff. This is not just about buying a truck. This is about your rights as a trucker, the things that you have access to, everything, education, all of that.
Mentorship.
Right.
Mentorship, all of that.
Doing it the right way. That's just what it is, man. Doing it the right way and knowing when to pivot. But that's what I'm saying. You part of a community, you part of these lives, and you get to see like, okay, this is what's going on. This is how I can move around and do this and do that.
Right.
You got to be a part of something, man. Like I talk about it. Trucking ain't easy, man. I got a shirt said that. I got a shirt getting created for that too. Trucking ain't easy, because it's not.
Yep. It's
not easy. Everybody makes it seem like it's easy, but it's not. It's not easy at all. So,
it's not. Them pandemic people made it seem like it was easy.
Right. But
then the rates was good back then. But now that they ain't, where the pandemic people go?
I'm gonna tell people right now. Stop falling for these girls that got no clothes on, telling you to buy a truck or to be a dispatcher.
Yeah.
Stop falling for that.
It's one-on-one, bro.
For that. Please stop falling for that.
Bro,
I see this all the time. I'm like, yo, just because she ain't got no clothes on, don't mean that truck is gonna last, or don't mean that you're gonna be a dispatcher just like her. Right. Don't fall for that, bro.
It's one with clothes.
I'm really tired of it.
Hey, it's one with clothes, and hey,
did y'all see the one that? Did y'all see the one I called out?
I'm talking about.
Man, I forgot the lady name. It's on one of my videos, man.
Light Slim?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. I can't, bro.
Man, hey, that one right there, bro. She would not talk to me, and I get it now on the back end, but she wouldn't talk to me unless I bought a course or a book from her. But she makes her content going to truck stops, talking to truck drivers for free. That's why I said, hey, if you're a truck driver, if you see her at the truck stop and she come and talk to you, make her buy you some fuel. Get something out of the deal, because she's making free content off of y'all. But when y'all try to go talk to her, she ain't trying to talk to you.
She's trying to woo you with her looks, and I mean, I ain't into that. You know what I'm saying? I'm married.
Like a lot lizard.
Yeah, bro. Like, and then not even just her looks. I'm a dollar back because she married, and somebody wanted her.
I'm talking about the way she dressed.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about her look. I'm talking about the way she's dressed.
But this is what
she's dressed like a lot lizard. But I guess that's what I could say.
But that's what I said though. That's how they bring them in. You bring them in like that. Oh yeah, she looking like that. She she pimping you, brother.
Yeah.
That's all, man. She pimping you.
Yeah, and the crazy
sign up with her,
thing is,
you gonna make some money off you. She gonna give you that $1.50 load. You gonna be like, oh, it's okay, sweetheart. Just try again.
Yeah.
And you gonna go broke. She made money off you, and then she gonna go to the next one.
And I hit her up because the crazy thing is I liked her content, because I like to see people get out the office, come to the truck stops and talk to actual truckers. Mm-hmm. I like that. Mm-hmm. But when she went and talked to me, I was like, oh, she bullshit. She don't even know. Like, it's not about who I am or whatnot, but like, I'm a trucker and I just want to talk to you, and I want to interview you to help you get out there more, as well as help myself, and I feel like you're a good dispatcher because you're talking to the drivers. Let's do something together. No, you got to buy this course or this book first. What? Man, okay, I got something for your ass. Every truck driver that see her, make sure she buy y'all a gallon of diesel. I'm on the ass, Marcus.
A gallon ain't nothing. That's only $3. That's for real.
That's it. It take at least 3 to start.
Yeah. And I got a third on your side. You know what I'm saying?
But that's the thing I'm saying though, bro. It's just like people fall like, it's like I don't like saying truckers are stupid, but they just oblivious, and they just think like, oh yeah, man, she cute, she coming up to you, I'm gonna make some money, I get to talk to her. Nah, man. Or she cute, man. Oh yeah, come check out this Kenworth. 600 miles. It's a great truck.
Yeah.
But you
She
don't know
tripping.
nothing about that truck. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just
Yeah.
like, y'all, I get it's advertising to bring you in, but it's just like, yo, they advertise to you like this because it works.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that tells you about what they see, how they see truckers.
Right.
It tells you how they marketing to you is telling you how they see truckers. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So if they putting this girl out here on this shitty equipment, they know that you're gonna buy it because she's showing you the equipment.
Yep. Yep.
Bro,
Yep.
that shit cheesy,
Yep.
bro. Like, I can't stand. Hey, everybody, I've learned about dispatch, and then I had a partner come with me. This my partner, and he a boy in the streets, and he was like, yeah, bro, I'm thinking about dispatching. That shit had me hot. That shit had me hot. And
Yeah.
I know he in the streets. I know he got money in the streets. I'm not mad that he want to dispatch. But I said, bro, what make you think you don't know nothing about trucking and come and
I'm
dispatch?
glad you asked him that.
And this is like my brother. So I get like, bro, I just see people doing it.
Yep.
And I'm like, damn,
Yep.
I can't be mad at the game if they see people profiting, but I got a disdain for dispatchers, and I'm not saying they're not needed. It's just that most of them just parasites.
Mm.
If I have a dispatcher, well, I have an assistant. She does a little bit of dispatching, but she works for my company and my company only.
That's different.
You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be having a dispatcher that works for my trucks, this truck, that truck, this truck, this truck, this truck.
Yeah.
There's only one dispatcher that I see out there, and I give them a shout out because they've been doing it for a long time. They do their trucks and they have other trucks as well. Is Buy Lug CO. They out of Vegas. It's a husband and wife or a girlfriend and boyfriend, but they've been doing it for years. A brother and sister, and I like them because they
Yeah.
really and they actually opened up their operation, made it bigger, and actually teaching people how to do it the right way. So
Yeah.
that's the only dispatcher that I see on a daily basis, and then I watched them for years, and they started off with doing box trucks, like having trucks first, and then going from there. So they had a progression. But for the people that just say, "Hey, I want to start from nothing and get to dispatching," those are the people that should not be doing
Yeah.
dispatching.
Yeah, that's my whole issue. Well, not my whole issue, but that's one of my issues with Cam Newton. It's like, why are you getting into it? And then you cannot sit here and tell me, oh, I got a brother, I got a friend, or I got
Tree.
somebody. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, nice tree.
It's clean.
Okay, cool. You got a brother, somebody that's in it. Okay, cool. And you okay, cool. But guess what? You, Cameron Jarrell Newton, have not went out to a truck stop and talked to one truck driver. You probably sent a representative or a brother or somebody or a sister or somebody, but you haven't done it. And then he be going to these broker carrier summits. We all know those are not the real people you need to talk to. The real people you need to talk to are the truckers, number one. Bro, and then I look at broker carrier summits like this. What kind of deals are being made behind closed doors? Because what have they done lately for the industry? Just like ATA, what have they done lately for the industry? The one thing I can say about IDA is at least they got broker transparency passed through Congress.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's where this came from.
Wow.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Oh, IDA got a whole office inside of the Congress building. Yes,
really? Damn. And they don't do nothing to use it to they use it minutely because
yeah,
if they're
yes, they
how
do.
do
I
they
don't know
enforce
why.
these?
I don't know why they don't bring a lot of things to the forefront. But OIDA is only for owner operators, though. That's how they made their whole
But
thing.
bro,
They're not for
that's why
truck.
we
They're
need to get
not
you
for
in
the company
position.
driver.
That's why we gotta get you someone in position because if you think about it, the minute they're inside the Congress building, they bought.
Yes,
No matter how much we go back and forth and they benefit, them shit they bought, bro. That's why it's probably an unenforceable code because they brought it forth. They
probably
you know
so.
they get behind
It's
closed doors, shake hands, and like, okay, that's good.
yeah,
Let's shut these people up and put our money in our pocket. That's how that is too.
probably so because it's fishy because FMCSA won't enforce it. Why?
Mhm.
That's fishy. But dang, yeah, we still having the meeting in Charlotte. Tune in Monday. Hey, I want Marcus, Alante, all y'all to get on this live too. We're
Mhm.
gonna go live Monday night,
I'm with it.
probably about 7 o'clock. About we trying to finalize some things and stuff like that. But hey, dang, come to Charlotte, pull up on me, talk to me. I'm really out here in these streets, and that's another thing that pissed me off yesterday too. Hudson Freight gonna say, I'm playing internet games. Like I'm not really. And I told him, I was like,
I
bro,
seen that.
come to a truck stop. You can find me. I'm not gonna be in the office. I'm not gonna be in a certain time. Come to a truck stop. I'm really out here with these people. In case you didn't know, Hudson Freight. So that was funny to me because it's like I don't play no internet games. I'm really out here at these truck stops. Come holler at me. And I sent him an invite. I told him, I said, come holler at me truck stop. You know what he said? I ain't going to no truck stop. Okay, cool. That let me know you really ain't for this industry. You got a problem with coming? You think you better because you can't come to a truck stop?
CDO,
Well,
where
that's
you in Charlotte
yeah.
area?
Yeah, I'm back in Charlotte now. I'm not in Florida anymore.
We got to do a video where we meet like halfway or something, and we go
I'm
to
cool with that.
Greenville, and around Christmas time or maybe around New Year's, and we just give away a whole bunch of free shit to truckers. It
Man,
could be
I'm cool
like
with that.
those little. We could just get a whole bunch of not 100 worth of candy, not 100, but candy bags or fruit bags. Fruit bags is better.
Yeah. Yo, me and Natasha, when I met you, remember I came to that event in Atlanta and I met you?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The day after that, me and Natasha from HD Screening, we went to the Petro in Atlanta.
Mm.
We stood out there for 6 hours handing out fruit and water. And we
Mm.
talked about truckers' health. We handed out bananas, apples, strawberries, all of that.
Mm.
She got the video on her page.
I'm with that, bro. I'm with that.
Yeah, so it bothers me when people be like, "Oh, CDL Shorty playing internet games." No, you can really find me at a truck stop near you.
Mm-hmm.
They
I'm
got,
really out here, and I don't dodge and duck. No smoke, neither. I don't care how big, how tall, or how small you are. I don't nobody put fear in my heart. You know why? Once you go through a heart transplant like I did, and
that's
you
what
make
it
it
is
out,
too,
Yeah.
bro. That's what it
you
is. You had a
think I'm scared? I
you
ain't
had a
scared of
life changing
nobody.
event, bro. That's what it
Yeah.
is. Life changing.
And you
You don't know
know,
what I done been through. I done been through hell and back.
yeah.
I ain't scared of nobody.
And you know, life's in God's hands. I mean, once you know your life in God's hands, you really ain't got no fear.
Right, right. And not saying that I'm looking to fight somebody or anything. I'm not. I'm
Mhm.
looking to have some good, thought provoking conversations to make people see why they fucking the drivers so bad. But if it comes to that, then guess what? I ain't gonna run.
Yeah.
Like that's well, how we talk about like the industry, man. There's so many leeches. There's so many leeches in our industry, man, and and as you're a trucker, owner, operator, company owner, there's so many leeches,
Yeah.
bro. So many
Kill
leeches. You
Yeah.
the
start with the
leashes,
broker.
bro. That's the name of the game. Got to kill the leashes.
There's just a
Yep.
little bit like
Mhm.
the broker could take his, the factory company takes
Maintenance
theirs,
man,
maintenance man,
tire insurance
Yeah.
man,
Yep.
insurance man,
Yep.
and
miscellaneous things happen.
trailer rental
Mm-hmm.
spots,
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Truck spot, truck rental
trucks.
spots for parking.
I don't go to truck stops because I'm doing mine like local, but my driver's telling me like if you don't have the credits, $25 for a shower. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
crazy, bro. Like
Yeah, they went up,
you can't,
bro.
what I'm saying? Like you can't even take a shower, like
Yeah.
Then they say, oh, there's no truck parking. There is truck parking, but they charging for the truck parking.
Yep.
$25 per spot, $30 per spot. When I was with my driver, they was charging up in because I'm in Cali up in Ontario. The TA in Ontario charging $35 a
Yep.
day for a parking spot.
Yep,
So
yep. I did a whole, and it pisses me off when a lot of people, and I think these are just new people that have gotten on my page, and they say, "Oh, you going after the small guy, or you going after the black family business or whatnot." If y'all do y'all history on me, bro, I got a whole video where I'm doing a review at a Pilot Flying J, and I'm talking straight cash trash about the reserve
right.
parking, about the fruit being so high, all of that. So I call out anybody that's not for the driver.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like you said, you go to the I never understood this. This is one of my biggest things. I used to tell my wife. I said the healthy food that's naturally grown is 2 or 3 times more than the
Expensive.
garbage.
Yep.
I said,
Yep.
don't you think that should be the other way around? You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? But then you go to these truck stops. Like I go to truck stops and get gas and stuff, and you see the prices on stuff. You be like, yo, this don't even cost this much in Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like,
But
but they just gouging, bro.
but
They
see,
know.
bro, I don't mean to interrupt you. I'm gonna play God. I don't like saying devils. I'm gonna play God's
Yeah.
advocate. When I was a trucker, bro, man, I pull up at Walmart, bro, and go in and get me some stuff. I used to cook in my
Yeah,
truck. I used to have a small portable grill. Man, I'd be better cooking steaks, bro. No cap.
yeah,
My family be in the truck.
Yeah.
I got beans and stuff, bro, for real. Because that truck stop stuff, bro, I have your gut messed up. It just have you sleepy.
right.
You know, I just can't. I love it. I mean, we all eat it, but shit, bro, you can't live off that shit, bro.
But
I
guess
don't,
what?
I don't know why people. I don't know why drivers don't get a Costco membership.
So
I
let
just
let's play God's advocate on this though, right? So you see what Walmart have now done to us
True.
because we're some of us are nasty and they
As
messed
hell.
it up for a lot of us.
Mhm.
But what Walmart has done is now, especially off I-10 down there by Louisiana and Texas area, they put them yellow poles up to where you
Yeah.
cannot go in there. You got no choice but to keep the truck parked at a truck stop and jump in an Uber. That costs
Hmm.
money. Then you buy your groceries. Then you gotta get the Uber back to the truck stop. So you done spent damn near, depending on how many groceries you got, you done spent damn near $100.
But CDL, I would strategically do it. Like if I'm at a shipper, I
Mhm.
already Google where I'm at, and I might drop my trailer at the door and go to Walmart right quick. And by the time I come back, my load's empty. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but how you gonna get in that Walmart if you run into one that got them yellow poles?
I'm about telling.
No, you can't fit under them yellow
Oh,
poles.
oh, it's
Yeah,
a height thing.
yes, that's what I'm
Oh,
yeah.
saying. Yeah,
oh,
that's what Walmart
oh,
started doing.
oh.
Yeah, and then they done took it even further, and this is here in Atlanta or there in Atlanta.
Mm.
They done took it even further. You go to a Walmart or any shopping center that don't allow truck parking, you think you in there shopping for groceries. You come out, you got a boot on your windowsill
Yeah,
that costs $500 to get off. That's the new boot. They don't care about them tires no more. They put it right smack dab on your windowsill on your driver's side, so they know you can't go nowhere because you
yeah,
can't see.
yeah.
But
That's
then,
the new game.
but also too though, like you said though, they used to do it. So why they stopped doing it?
Right.
They
Hmm.
used to let you drive there. They used to let you park there. It used to be then no problems. You can sleep there overnight at Walmart. They used to let you do that. Even Target was like that.
Yeah.
2-3 years ago. But why they stopped doing it?
Because
Etiquette.
truckers are nasty.
Hmm.
Exactly.
Trucker
But
nasty
then
ass
and then
etiquette.
they complain ain't no
Yeah,
truck parking. Well, nigga, you had the truck parking.
Yeah.
You had the lick,
Yeah,
but
that's
you
That's
ruined
why
it.
I get so discouraged sometimes, Marcus and Alante, with being a driver's advocate because you got a lot of drivers that you think is for this industry because they're in this industry and they don't give two shits about this
they
industry.
don't, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I see that on the insurance side. You know, people, I fight to get insurance, and then they'll cancel like a month, two, or they'll do some weird shit where they don't pay me. And bro, and I'm like, if this is your business, why don't you care this much about it, bro?
You're
But,
right.
bro, like they don't care about themselves. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, you know, yeah,
Yep.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like I said, but as I said, I came to a realization about about what we do.
Mhm.
We got a good heart. We want people to be better. We want people to learn. But how do you teach somebody that doesn't want to learn?
That's right.
How do you advertise to make them learn? Right? How
That's
do they?
right.
That's what it is, bro. It's like the information is there. You got people that's trying to help you, or be a part of a community, a free community now. But you still don't want to join it. At least try to use it.
Right.
At least try, and then give feedback. Hey, let's make this better by doing this and this and this.
Right.
That's the point I'm trying. I'm just trying to create a community now, just so you have like-minded people in there, and when we have these conversations, they're actually doing something.
Right.
But how do you teach people that don't even want to do that?
Correct.
But if I got old girl butt naked talking about Parliament, I bet I get people signed up tomorrow.
Oh, for
What?
sure.
You
For
know what I'm
sure.
saying?
Parliament would be on fire
It'd
tonight.
be on fire, but it just be like, damn, but then do I want to associate Parliament with that? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Well,
Right.
Like that's
you know,
that's how
as
that's
we approach the
our side.
as we approach like the 2 hour mark, I want to say something because probably gonna be in the live in like 5 minutes. I gotta go to a meeting. But
Yeah.
I want to say this. I'm seeing on my backdrop being in insurance, I'm seeing the market change. And just like truckers are the first person to get it when the market get bad, whether it's fuel rates, whether it's slow supply chains, we're the first one to get hit the recession.
Yeah.
We're the first one to come out of it too.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
I'm seeing trends now, especially like a Geico here in Georgia. Georgia now has, there's insurance companies positioning themselves for 2025's market,
Yeah.
new products. And why do they don't position themselves when they think the market's going to go bad? They think they're coming out of a bad
Yeah.
market.
Mm.
Yeah.
So all 2025 is rebound. In 2026, I'm a firm believer. I almost want to short it that the market gonna be so profitable that it's not COVID prices, but people are gonna forget the bad times.
Mm.
Right.
Okay.
They're gonna forget when their tires were bald. They're gonna forget when they didn't have money for fuel. Because truckers are notoriously wasteful with money. They get money because it's like dope money, bro. When you're doing these loads coming and going, they're gonna forget the bad times, bro. I see it. Banks are positioning themselves. I just see it, bro.
But also too though, I do see though, I do think people are gonna get back into trucking,
Mhm.
but I don't think it's gonna be as easy for them to get back into trucking.
Mm.
If you're
Absolutely not.
not already positioned like how you are now, like
Mhm.
companies still you still have your company and stuff like that. I
Mhm.
still feel like it's gonna be not as easy for people to get in. And also too, you're still gonna have with the increase of people coming in, you're still gonna have that issue of fraud.
Yeah.
So then if you have a relationship with companies now, then those companies are still gonna work with you and figure it out with you because they know you.
Right.
You know,
Mhm.
so it's still going to be a problem for people, the new people, to get back in because you're still going to have to go through that 90-day, 60-day, all of that stuff,
Right.
new freight, new trucking company, and all of that stuff. You're still going to have those issues, and then fraud will always be fraud. Like it's still going to be astronomically high.
Fraud is
So
so high right now,
yeah,
though, bro. Like
Yeah.
in
and
the insurance world.
I don't think there's nothing you can do to. Only way that these companies can decrease fraud is by staying with the carriers that are working with them. So when I left my big shipper,
Mhm.
I get calls, and emails, probably once a week. Hey, let's try to negotiate. Oh, what's been happening? Oh, we've been having a lot of theft, a
Mhm.
lot of fraud. That's exactly
Dang.
what they. So what's been happening? Like, tell me, because I got a good relationship. We can speak freely. Oh, we've been having a lot of fraud. We've been having, shipments not showing up, getting stolen,
Damn. Mm.
and it's just like, well, damn, if you would have just took care of me and made sure I was straight, you wouldn't have to worry about that problem because I've never had anything stolen off of my truck.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like my truck, I got OGs in my truck, so ain't none of that shit happening. But you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying though, like, some of these shippers, they so worried about price, but now they starting to see value. They,
Yes.
now, like especially next year, it's gonna be more of a value play
Yeah.
because shit's getting stolen.
Yeah.
Shit, they picking up shit and taking it to such and such, and then disappearing.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so that's what it is, man. It's just that fraud is high now. So imagine how it's going to be in 2026 when people are going to try to get back in the game,
Yep.
We'll see.
and they're going to really make it. They're going to really make it tough for
Mhm.
people to get freight. So you're going to be able to get in the industry, but how you going to get freight if nobody trusts you?
Right.
It's
What's
hard
up,
to get in the
Trakiana?
industry now.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Because even with the FMCS now, FMCSA now, they have it to where there's a second check when you start your DOT number. That's new.
Mm.
I
It used to you
didn't
just
know that. I didn't know that.
yeah, yeah. I'm dealing with carriers all the time, and some of these guys shut down. They thought they could just get a new DOT tomorrow. They didn't stop that shit. They're
Mm.
Mm.
doing they're doing check after check after check. If they're making sure that you're not a chameleon company because there's so much fraud going on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because that's what they would do. They would let's say if something happened to that truck company, like somebody's like they steal somebody or
them,
something fishy happened.
them Illinois companies.
Yep.
This is
They would shut
what they
down
own.
and they would get a new authority
Hmm.
and operate under new name, new authority, like it wasn't nothing.
I'm gonna tell you this too, though. It's big out here in Cali. These some of these Asian companies. That's what they do.
Mm.
They'll have these big companies,
Indians
have these drivers.
too.
Huh?
Indians too in Cali.
Yeah. So they'll have these companies mess up their DOT, but when they know, okay, we almost about to be over, they'll create another one,
Yep.
Hmm.
and then the name will be instead of uh, Marcus Inc. It'll be Marcus LLC. So all they're taking off is the LLC and changing
Chameleons.
the DOT numbers. That's it.
But see, there's a way to
Put
identify
it
it.
back on put it on the truck and go.
The insurance company has been identifying these people through their VIN numbers. We know no fucking new venture is going to start a company
They have
with 10 trucks.
1,000 trucks.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they'll ease into it. They'll be like, and then insurance say, you know what, we're gonna get smart. We're only gonna insure one or two, three trucks on your new venture.
Yep.
So yeah, man, like that's where I'm getting my game from because they're telling me, especially with the people, the Indian heritage people in California specifically,
It's crazy out
California,
here.
they
Crazy.
have a problem, bro. You
Crazy.
know, it's like it's really bad for fraud go wise. You know, just
It's crazy. And I think that's what's going to control the industry.
yeah.
Because the money gonna be there.
Mm-hmm.
It's the fraud that's gonna control the industry.
Mhm.
It's the insurance. It's these shippers and these brokers that's gonna be like, hell no.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You're gonna be able to get a company, or if you get past that process, then now you're gonna be like, oh, I'm trying to get freight. Well, who you gonna work with?
Right.
Ain't nobody touching
Right.
you. You see what I'm saying? So what you gonna do? So people think like, oh, it's gonna turn around. I'm gonna get back in. But like you said, now we got 2-step verification.
Yeah.
Well, just to get a DOT. Then you get the DOT. Now you got to get certified with Highway, and Highway RMIS got to match up with your FMCSA perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be nothing different.
Nope.
Right?
Perfectly.
That got to be perfect matched up. And now you got that matched up. Now you cool. Now you get a couple people, but now you only been in business for a month.
Right.
Oh, these brokers ain't messing with you. Ain't nobody touching you. So what you gonna do?
Right.
So people, that's what people thinking like, oh, I'm gonna wait, and I'm gonna get back in it. Yeah, okay. Because you're not.
We're gonna see. Right. We're
It's
gonna
not
see.
gonna happen. It's not gonna be like how COVID was, when people was getting trucking companies like that.
Yeah, it's not gonna be like that again.
Nope. Because what it
That's
is,
good though.
which is
For sure.
amazing. Because I feel like I got something
Yes.
that nobody else got.
Right.
That can't get so easily.
Right.
So that's amazing, bro. I love that. But I ain't gonna be mad. I'm glad that we got so much fraud, because now it's keeping the antennas up. Now they're like, okay, how can we stop this?
Yep.
How can we keep these people from getting in? So this is what we're gonna do.
Right.
So I'm glad that is, because that's what it is. Because like you said, the numbers gonna come back, and everybody gonna try to jump in, and they're gonna take you 4 months just to get your DOT number. You're gonna be like, man, fuck this.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna
And
be
I
like,
can't wait.
oh, it ain't gonna be like, oh, 21 days and you good. It's gonna be like months. It's gonna be like months now. And then now, then the new thing gonna be is people are gonna start buying MCs. My boy who's like right now about to try to go out of business. He said somebody offered him $60K for his
You beat
MC.
me to it, bro. I was about to talk about that. You beat me to it.
I'm nice. That's why.
And look, in Georgia, you can get one if it's clean. Couple years, I got one right now clean. Somebody from like 20 bands for mine.
Yep.
And
so that's gonna be that's gonna be the new thing next year.
But you know why, right?
Huh?
You know why they're doing it, right?
Because it's already solidified.
And most people who do that, they run with Amazon, and they be having Amazon accounts.
Yeah.
And they be going. So once again, if I got 20 grand, about 20 grand, I get me a truck. I might already had a truck fraudulently, and I go pick up Amazon load up, and I deliver it. That one Amazon load could be 100 grand, bro, 200 grand.
Yep.
You feel me?
Yep.
TVs, miscellaneous things, and that's a lot. And they don't got to take it off that one load. They can take it off peacefully off loads. You feel me? That's how fraud is functioning.
Yeah.
Also, that's how another fraud thing. So
That's
they like,
bro.
if I buy an MC that's already logged in with Amazon, I buy it, get that over, hit a lick on 10 loads. I'm gonna get my money back, probably 10x it, and keep doing that.
Yeah. Hey, y'all, everybody make a video about it. Marcus, you make a cap cut. Alante, you too. And I'm gonna make one about that too.
Video. We're gonna chop this thing up because we're talking about a lot of good things.
Yeah.
But like I said, the fraud thing is what's gonna control the market.
Right.
That's what's gonna control the market. Is the fraud is gonna control it to where they're not letting people just hop in and hop out.
Yeah.
Right.
They got a close eye on these people.
The one thing about the government is that when they get fraud, they not only bounce against it unless it's warranted, but very quickly. Specifically with the one in California, it's a lot of agents right now who are Indian descent. They run a lot of business, and only because I know underwriters, it's coming out fraudulent.
Yep.
If I quote a company and they have 10 trucks, and the owner is a Singh, SIG, SINGH.
Yeah, Indy. Yeah.
And they got 10 brothers, and they all got trucks. They done did this 10 times, bro. Like
Right.
it's kind of hard. We got to get this. And me and CDL Shorty talked about at the border what's going on with the Mexican
Yep.
drivers. Are
Mm-hmm.
you familiar with that, Marcus? You
Mm-hmm.
familiar with the hot zones on the border, and trucking companies are basically, you can hire a Mexican driver and he can have a permit to go through America in 7 days. His permit runs out, but he back home in 7 days. And
Yeah,
they
you
pay
can do. Yeah, that's big out here, and also too, you can do. You can give them a conditional CDL permit, not even a license. So I'll tell you this right now.
California,
I
man.
I got I got I got hit. I got hit. One of my trucks got hit.
Hmm.
Uh, at the truck stop, the guy pulled out, turned too tight, took my left side off of one of my trucks. Asian company, cool people though. We chopping it up, cool. He was like, "Look, bro, I saw the CDL of the driver. It was a conditional CDL permit, but it's conditional because he's not from the country.
Hmm.
So they bring him in. It's a conditional process, and then he's driving. I talked to the dude. We settled out of court. We didn't even go to the insurance. He didn't want to report it to
Yeah.
insurance, and he had a FedEx account. So you
That
can
was the
imagine,
FedEx guy.
yes.
Wow.
So imagine how much money I got. How much money I got from that.
But
Yeah.
hold
You got paid.
on, you know how much money he's making with FedEx? He probably paying that driver 20 grand for the whole year.
Yep.
Exactly. So I talked to another guy real quick. I talked to another guy. He was one of my drivers a while ago. He's a cool dude. We chopping it up. He said, "You know what you need to do?" I said, "What?" He said, "You need to get these Mexican drivers." He's
Sure.
Latino. He's like, "You need to get these Mexican drivers." He said, "You get them on this program." He said, "They'll take anything because they want to get their visa." He said, "They good drivers too. Guys that been driving since they was like 10. You know what
Word.
I'm saying? Amazing
Word.
drivers." He said,
Yeah.
"You get them."
Seriously.
This is what he's telling. He said, "You get them." He said, "You get them, and then you got to pay them peanuts because they just want to get in America, and they have to work for you for like 2 or 3 years, and then they'll get their visa." He said that's how they get into the country too. They use trucking to get in the country. He said you ain't got to pay them peanuts. They're not mad. They don't care about the money. They care about the opportunity to get their visa, and then after that, and then he said you take care of them, they're gonna stay with you. And I'm like, so he was like, he said that's what you need to be doing.
Yeah.
He said you can pay like 26 a mile, like. Because trucking is not regulated. We don't have a minimum wage in trucking. That's another thing CDL probably should talk about. There's no minimum wage in trucking.
Yeah.
You pay driver whatever you pay him.
Yeah.
But he was talking about that. Then I talked about another guy, which I'm looking at because I got a lot of ex-cons on my thing. He's like, there's a federal program where you can get paid for having ex-cons, hiring ex-cons. I was like, I didn't even know this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Dang.
So there's so many programs out there for ex-cons, hiring guys from overseas where a company can make so much bread.
Yeah.
But I don't really do that because everybody I rock with, they my guys. You know what I'm saying? But that's how a lot of these other companies get big so fast.
It is, bro.
Is they get these people, they got these conditionals. You know what I'm saying? They're not mad about money. You pay. I'm in America. That's what you paying me by helping me get in America.
Word. Word. Yeah. How do you compete?
You can't. You got to do it.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You just got to do it. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you still need money for the equipment.
Yeah.
Like some of these guys from overseas, like you said, they got 10 brothers.
Yeah,
they
man.
probably each got 200,000, 250,000. They put that to get us 2.5. They can probably get a loan from a bank, 2.5. Even if you did $1 million down, you can do 10x that money or 5x that money. You get a $5-10 million loan. Now you got equipment. And then you bring the boys from overseas over there, paying them $20,000-$30,000 a month, get you an Amazon or get you a something just power only. Shit, you making bread. FedEx. Because all those companies care about is capacity. So you go to FedEx and say, I got 10 trucks. They're going to give you some lanes because you got 10 trucks.
Yeah.
You can't get on FedEx with 1 or 2 trucks or even 5. I even tried with 5. They say you need 10. You got 10 trucks, you own. So like this is stuff that people don't like. This you get this on the live in Parliament, bro.
Yeah. Hey, we definitely need to save this, put this live out, chop it up, because there's a lot of information on this live today. Hey, we all cooking up. We all been in the kitchen today.
Backed up. Yeah, man. I feel some kind of way about that, man. I mean, I would love to go deeper in that. I mean, I got a real deep feeling because I feel like that kills competition.
For sure.
And you can't, like, drivers not even, bro, drivers make at least 70, 80, 60, 70, 80, 100. You paying a driver 30 and 20.
Yeah,
You know, they're like, bro, that's good to them over there, bro.
for sure.
And then on top of that, what level of equipment can you have? You can have a high level of equipment. Your margins is that.
Yeah,
You you can have the
good
best.
stuff.
Yeah, you
You
got the
can
best
you can have the
equipment.
best and put them in the best, and then you, like I said, now you know you got these drivers, and you just like, okay, cool, you know. And the thing is though, these drivers are guys that's been driving since they were young.
Mm-hmm.
They're not like brand new
Mm-hmm.
people. Like they know how to drive a truck. It's just in their
Mm-hmm.
country. So
Yeah,
they go out here, they be like, this is gravy, gravy.
yeah,
So and that's the one thing I like about being in a truck. And it's so funny when I talk to people because I'm in a truck and now I'm at like the shop, I'm at different places, and I'm chopping it up with people. So people think I'm just like a truck driver. Then they be like, okay, who you drive for? I'm like, this is my company. Oh, okay, you got one truck. No, I got five. Oh, you got five trucks? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Then I just start chopping it up with people. Oh, yeah, man, I used to live over here. And then now I came back over here in the country. You
yeah.
know, they don't pay me a whole lot, but I'm just happy to be here.
Right.
I'm doing my time. They say I got to drive for 2 or 3 years, and then I get to be able to be a citizen, and then I can go wherever I want to go. But, you know, and they say, as long as the company treat me right, I'll stay.
Yeah.
I'm
And
good.
that's modern day slavery though, but that's like indentured servants they did back in the day. They would pay people, white indentured servants would come over here from England and they'd work 2 or 3 years off. Like this shit modern day slavery, bro.
Yeah, it is. But think about it, though. If you in a country where you live in the slums,
Yeah,
but now
man.
you in a country like this,
Yeah.
and you got a little bit of money in your pocket, all they do with their money is send it home.
Some of them still live in Mexico. They just go back every week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they just send it home. All I need is $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
The rest I send home.
Yeah.
That's what they say. I send it home, and then so yeah, I've been doing this, and I was able to move my family out of the slums and move them to a decent neighborhood back home.
Yeah, man.
So they be having like stories.
Yeah.
You be like, damn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so you actually, you know, doing it. Like, you know, I met guys that live in the islands. They live in the island. They'll come out here for like 8 months, go hard. 8, 9 months. I had one driver. I should have hired him. He from France. His family lives in France, but he's African. But his family lives in France. And we was chopping it up. He said, "Yeah, I drive for 10 months. I go back for a month. Then I go to France for a month, and I go to Africa for another month, and I come back and drive 10 months. I go everywhere, no matter where it is." He said, "Then I live off of like 1,000, 1,500 a month. The rest I just send back." And he was like, he drove for Night Swift, but he had like a clean record, everything. He said, "Bro, all I need is like 40, 45 cents a mile."
Damn. Damn.
I was like, "Fuck."
Damn.
That's what
So
bro.
the overseas guys think different.
Yeah, man.
They think different. Then you got, you know, guys from over here, you know, they want to make as much money as you can, which we understand, but it's a business too, though.
Yeah.
So if you can pay a guy 30 cents and he's actually a better driver than the person you paying 60, 65 cents, 70 cents, you know what I'm saying? What you gonna do?
Yeah.
You're running the business. What you gonna do?
Right.
It's fucked up, but it's business. You know, what you gonna do? This dude drives better. He's been driving for 15 years. And this guy's been driving for 5 years. He wants 70 cents, but I can get this guy on a program for 30 cents.
Man, you know,
20 cents or 30 grand a year.
This was a very, very good live.
Oh yeah.
Send me the video. I chopped this up.
Yeah, we about to hit.
Yeah.
You know, I got you. We about to hit the 2-hour mark.
Yeah.
Man, every Friday, guys, we back on it, bro. We just kick it. You know, we give game. CDL Shorty on his point. You know, CDL Shorty, we know your handle, but give me your handle, bro. Give me all your information.
Oh, I appreciate that. CDL Shorty at YouTube, AV Jackson 28 here on Instagram, and then CDL Shorty D4D.com.
What about you, big dog Marcus?
Instagram and TikTok, MarcusLewis.official. I might change it to something else, something trucker. Just full of it. I might switch it up to M. My nickname back in the day was M. Dot. Everybody used to call me M. Dot. So I might change it to M. Dot the trucker. I don't know yet. But right now it's MarcusLewis.official on TikTok, Instagram, and then Parliament is Parliament HQ on Instagram.
Okay.
And I got like probably like 10 videos on YouTube. That should be on the Parliament HQ as well.
Okay.
Just those are like, I got a couple of definition videos on there just to, you know, information.
All right.
Everybody sign up for the Parliament. Parliament is full of information. Parliament is full of people. It's a space where people can learn, people can grow, people can get knowledge, man, just to even how to take the first step in this business, man, and how to stay profitable, how to stay knowledgeable, how to stay safe. You know, but every Friday, man, we blessed to do this, man. You know, God don't make mistakes, and we here this Friday to give y'all all the news about it. All right, be
Hey,
blessed.
let me say one thing before we leave.
Do your
We
thing.
need to come up with a name. I know we got Freight Fridays, but for me,
Mhm.
you and me, Marcus and Alante, we need to come up with a name. I thought of one called the Alliance.
I like that.
I like that too.
I
I like
thought
that.
because I feel like number one, I feel like we all give out free game
Hmm.
and a lot of good game, but like you know how people click up and they got their own little thing. I feel like this is our little
Hmm.
clique. You know, we started this together. Let's ride out
Hmm.
together.
And
Yeah.
the thing about this, we can do it together, and then we can take our like we all do, and do something separate, come back together and do something. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, yeah. And then if
Yeah.
somebody try to, do something separate with us, I would be like, man, I gotta talk to the alliance
Hmm.
first. So I gotta bring this up with the alliance and see how they feel about
Yeah, man.
That's what it is, man. You gotta, you can't do things by yourself, man.
Yeah,
it. Right.
You gotta have people that you trust, that you support. Like I said, I support all you guys, man. I see the content.
likewise. I need my hat though. I ain't got it yet, bro.
We gotta, I gotta look up that thing and see where it's at, see where it went.
Yeah,
But no, man, just always gonna support you guys, man. Look out for the content. I got crazy content coming now.
for
But
sure.
yeah, man, you can't do this. You can't do this by yourself. So
That's right.
Not at all.
can't do it
Not
by
at all.
yourself.
But be blessed, everybody. I'm about to go to a meeting, kick some ass. I got some people that owe me some money.
All
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 right,
right, man.
send me that video ASAP.
Likewise.
All
Peace
right,
out,
big dog.
everybody.
Peace out.